Let's go! Who's up next?
Welcome, Internet, to the Xbox Empire podcast, part of the Play Some Video Games network of podcasts. And I'm still, getting past the intro music. Still jamming out in my head. I'm Elaine. Donnie's here, and Coach Mo is joining us.
Yes. What up?
Welcome back. How you doing, Coach?
That intro music was so good.
It's lit, right? I can't not.
It's a bop.
It's so good that I'm not on camera because I'm over here just, the whole time. It's good stuff.
Yep.
How you been, Coach?
Solid. Man, it's been really good. I'm on spring break, so got some downtime. Just worrying about track practice and my throwers, and the rest of the time's just kind of working on cars. Put an offer in on my dream car today, so that's kind of
what's that car?
Shelby Mustang.
Of course it is. That's a classic. You can't go wrong. Right?
And it's got that big, beautiful 5.7 liter, which is a next level engine. So
yeah.
Eleanor.
That's what I'm going to turn her into.
Are you? What year is it?
It's the 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
nice.
I'm excited for you. That's exciting.
We'll see if I get lucky enough to get it or not. But that's the hope.
Only
yeah,
good
you've
juju.
got it.
Yeah, only good juju here.
You know, my wife stole my hoodie.
Facts.
What?
We were in not my hoodie, my onesie. We were in the hot tub, and she left her towels out, and it's raining, it's storming, so I'm kind of multitasking here, and so she gets out of the hot tub. We get out of the hot tub. All her towels are wet. She starts crying and whining. I give her my towel. I come in to get my shorts on, and I look around, and she comes out in my onesie.
That's right.
She has my onesie on that she made fun of me for buying.
My children are still making fun of me, but my daughter keeps eyeing it, and I'm like, "You're too small," because this thing's big on me. This is a small, and I'm I'm not super tiny, but this thing's big on me. But it's everybody's like, "Don't you own a robe?" I'm like, "This is my robe. This is how I do this. This is my. It's not cute. I don't want to be cute. I'm too old for cute." So
you'd have to sew 5 together to make one Coach Mo says onesie.
That's right.
That's
right.
It's just a little bigger than me, Coach. It's fine.
Oh yeah, just
your onesie is his arm sleeve.
I was gonna say I weigh about $140. That's one of his quads.
Yeah, that's a quad and maybe some calf. Maybe.
I get 2/3 of a leg.
Yeah. Some calf.
The whole thing. Oh, I knew this show was gonna be good because it's gonna be nonsense.
I brought mojitos.
Yeah, you're drinking already.
Cheers.
I got freaking tea. I look like Microsoft threw up on me because why not? It's been a week. There's a lot of news. Before we get to news, is anybody playing anything of consequence?
I've been playing some stuff, and I definitely want to talk about it. But
yeah,
I kind of feel like we should hold it off, or I don't know.
Oh, you want to do that?
I want to start the show this way because
oh boy,
guys,
he came in hot.
Xbox is having a moment.
Yep.
I don't know if you're seeing it, and Lord knows me taking my sample from Twitter and applying it to the rest of the world is not scientific. But the amount of people on Twitter this week that I have seen utter the phrase something like, "Okay, I guess I'm finally getting an Xbox," or "I've been doing the Stadia thing, but it's time to get an Xbox," or "Here's my new Series X, guys," or it's just over and over again. I've seen lifelong PlayStation fans are like, "I've got to get a Series S now." It's just they seem to have struck a chord at this point in time.
They're jamming on the whole keyboard. They've skipped the chord and have just been like, "Hey y'all, there's 88 keys here. We're just going to throw cats on all of them. Have it all at once." It's wild.
It's costing them lots of money, and we're going to talk about it, but it's still, for us as customers, who cares? They got all the money to spend. We're benefiting from it, and it's exciting, and people are liking it. And for the first time
in forever
since Don Matrick showed the Xbox One in May of 2013 or whatever.
I know you're having a moment, Donnie, but I'm sorry I broke Coach with that bit.
But people seem to really be excited about the brand again. And
yes, it's good. It's great. Right?
It's very, very refreshing. It's nice to see I think it's for all the good reasons. It's not because Nintendo or PlayStation did something wrong or bad. It's all for the good thing. It's
yes.
In it's like it's elevated outside of its normal console wars, and it's into like a place now where people are excited about getting Xboxes or playing in Xbox land for just the reasons of Xbox, not some comparative shopping reason versus others.
That's the anecdotal stuff that I've been seeing all week. I've been seeing a lot of people say, oh man, it seems like getting an Xbox and Game Pass is the way to go right now if you don't have a ton of cash. And I'm like, yes, we've been beating that drum for, months now. But I've seen a lot of people saying like they're excited about what Microsoft is rolling through instead of just being like angry about it. Yes. Or like throwing stones. It's nice to see a little bit of like uplifting good vibes for
I'm excited because I'm exciting because it's exciting.
Because it's exciting. And I'm like,
exactly.
It's like every day I open Twitter, I'm like, oh, Twitter's so good today. Why? What happened? Why is Twitter so happy? What have you done?
100%.
Let's talk about what they've done. Let's talk about Game Pass because that's what they've done.
Yeah.
Good gravy. All right, so Outriders is coming to Game Pass on day one. They've been teasing this thing. They teased it over the weekend. I was like, it's launching on April 1st, so all the jokes are great about it being an April Fool's Day joke. But I was like on the fence and I wasn't going to buy this game. Guess who's going to try it now?
Nice. And I tried the demo and I told you it's not for me. Yeah. I don't like it. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm excited for what it's doing, for the enthusiasm. I saw there were a lot of PlayStation players that were planning on buying Outriders, and now Outriders seem to be a moment for them where they're like, oh, I got it. It's like, why? Why would you buy it?
Why would you buy it?
They literally have Game Pass, which is, we've been talking about the whole Bethesda exclusivity and everything, and we've been saying just that. Why would you buy it? Like, you could do it just to draw a line in the sand, but like, it's not helping you. Like the helping you decision is to get Game Pass, which is what Xbox ultimately wants you to do. And for them to pick up, we get a lot of third-party games that come to Game Pass, and I'm going to save some of my ammo for that later because they've really, as I've said before, they've turned a weakness into a strength. But to get a day one third-party game, and I don't want to evoke the Destiny word or anything like that, but like this is a big game for a lot of people that are enthusiastic about the hobby. Like, we don't have a whole lot of games coming out. This one's been getting a lot of promotion, a lot of marketing. A lot of people have been looking forward to this one, going, okay, I'm going to play Outriders. And Game Pass, that's a big boon for a lot of people. I mean, it's a reason to pick up a console or a subscription.
It's the perfect Game Pass game, too, and I don't know how you and Coach feel about this, but for me, like, a multiplayer game is the perfect game that I never want to buy. I never want to buy that. I never want to drop $60. Some games, like, I want to own the Steelbook, or I just want to own a physical copy because they're close to me and I think they're important. It is never a game like this, because I'm just like, oh, when I'm done with it, I'm done with it. The community will have moved on and I'll be done.
Yep.
Day one, give it a shot. You don't like it, you lost nothing. Where are you at, Coach?
And for me, shooters are like my 1B, right? 1A is always sports games because I just love them to pieces, but I really enjoy shooters. And so I had this game pre-ordered for Xbox and PS4 today. Like, legit pre-ordered for both.
Whoa.
Today. And I went in today and I was like, hey, I'm canceling my pre-order. It's free. It's going to be on Game Pass for free. I'm sorry. So I canceled it for both PS5 and Xbox One X. The lady behind me goes, oh my goodness, I'm going to cancel mine too. And I felt so bad for the GameStop employee. I'm like,
oh my God.
Dude, I just got you 3 cancels. Like, that sucks. So I pre-ordered 2 games I didn't even want.
You felt bad.
Like, I feel bad. My bad. Like, I didn't mean to say that so loud.
You just pluck the Game Pass code card and turn around and hand it to her and be like, you have 4 months of that for the price of this game.
All you need.
Money.
And you're good to go. But yeah, I was really, really really jacked to get to play it.
Yeah.
And this is like the third game this week that's been announced that has like me like ready to download. So.
Right. It's crazy to me. It's crazy a day one like this, and this kind of game, like, it's perfect. It's exactly kind of what they needed to inject in. Like, give me a third party multiplayer game on day one. Don't wait till people have chosen their spot to play it. Day one. That's perfect. Genius. Start your demo. And I saw a lot of people like, well, I guess I'll just download the demo on Xbox then.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what you should be doing. It's great, And that's not all. That's a big enough announcement by itself, right? Getting
Yeah,
Outriders
that's
Day.
normally
Yeah,
a week
that's
of news.
huge.
We've got a whole page to get through.
No, we're not even close. That's bullet number 1. So check it out. Then they announced like a day later, hey guys, we got some more Game Pass games for you. We're going to put Undertale on Xbox for the first time on Game Pass. That's the first time it's available on Xbox,
Yeah,
right?
it launches, and it launches into Game Pass.
Into Game
which-
Pass.
That was one of the things I was talking about. I've said it before. Game Pass has taken a weakness that Xbox has, its lack of hold on the market share, and turn it into a strength. They keep getting games that are out on other systems a year before, 2 years before, 3 years before, but because they're launching them to Game Pass, they're having like this renaissance. I've said it before, like Game Pass almost makes like an old game new again because so many more people get access to it, and it's like the biggest game of the month club in the world,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because 15 million people start talking about it. That's what it sounds like. They're like, well, I guess I'll play that again, or I'll play it for the first time, or, and it all starts reverberating and going around again. And it's incredible that we see this, and we've seen it multiple times, and it continues. Undertale. I saw so many people are like, I can't believe I'm going to play Undertale. What was the other one? Octopath Traveler.
So this is bananas. This one is bananas. This one launches on March 25th. There was no previous announcement of this coming to Xbox at all. This
Nope.
was none. Like it was on PC and it was on Switch, right?
And Stadia.
That doesn't.
Poor
okay,
Stadia.
and
People
Stadia.
forgot about it. There were so many blogs yesterday that were like, Octopath hits console for the first time. It's like, poor Stadia.
Rest in peace. But on March 25th, they didn't even make a fanfare about this. It was just in the graphic.
Just
no big
in the
deal.
games.
Just
Yeah.
a huge game. No big
Octopath.
deal. That's on the 25th. On the 18th, you get Empire of Sin, a game I've been really dying to play.
A lot of people,
to try
yep.
out. You get Nier Automata on PC, which is a fine way to play that game. Star Wars Squadrons, Torchlight 3. And then on the 25th, a week later, because you can knock all those out in a week.
Oh, you remember, like, was it March 3rd? Everybody's like, oh, I guess it's sports game month. Sports sucks in Game Pass. We'll see you in
1 week.
April, guys. 45 games later, they've
Coach was like,
bludgeoned you over the head.
ever.
Yeah,
I know,
Coach,
Coach.
like,
I was trying to stick up
it's the best
for
month
you.
of all time. This is the greatest month.
Yeah.
Now we're on March 25th, and you get a game called Genesis Noir. You're going to get Octopath Traveler, Pillars of Eternity 2, which is supremely good and people should play. Superland, Yakuza 6. What is happening? There are so many video games. We're not even done with March yet.
I told you, buckets of games. They're just showering us in games. Like, even if you didn't want a backlog, Game Pass, you've got one. Like, here's your backlog. It's your instant back. That's what they should call it. It's the backlog service.
It's actually overwhelming.
And
overwhelming.
I know I've been trying to make the point for weeks, and I felt like this week it really hits home for seemingly doing nothing. Like, we just subscribed to Game Pass, and we're all just sitting around playing some games, whether you're playing some new games that just came out or some old games. A lot of people are playing some old games. And just out of nowhere, without doing anything, they're like, here's 20 games. Go play more games. It's just like, what is happening?
Video games are happening, and we have questions related to that which are relevant. So Hopple had asked, where can I get more time to play all those new games in Game Pass? I feel this, because every time I'm like, cool, I've downloaded the next game I'm going to play, then they do this, and I'm like, but what is you doing, baby?
Yeah.
Keep up,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a little bad that I can't touch all these games, because it's like I want to, but I have children. They require my attention. It's really unfortunate.
Facts.
Yeah.
We've got some detractors over here. We've got Robbie Blobby Miller. He's throwing some stuff in the chat. Where are the new Xbox games? So I wanted to point out that this Narita Boy that drops on the 30th
That was the last one.
looks stellar.
Yeah.
And every time that we get one of these Wired articles, I'm always going through them, and I go hit the YouTube trailers. And that was the one out of these that I picked out, because I've played Pillars of Eternity. I was never going to do Octopath Traveler, and I've done Empire of Sin and Squadrons. But I picked this one out, and I was like, this is really, really cool. It's got like this action platformer, like retro, neon aesthetic, that Katana Zero type vibe. That looks like a blast. I can't wait to play. I pre-downloaded it.
I think I get the point, like where are the new, but also like there's a lot of, most people have not played every single one of
the
these
medium.
games.
Yeah.
Like,
They just had one.
and it was good. For a lot of people, these are new because they haven't gotten to touch them yet. And that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be enough for a lot of subscribers. And I get it. They're not a marquee title with only on Xbox on it. But I don't know that matters anymore.
Facts.
Because you have something to play that you probably have
there's
not
just
finished.
Yo.
A bajillion things to play.
There's so many video games, y'all.
So one of the ones on that list you guys mentioned, my daughter fell asleep on me and I had my Switch. And I was like, all right, what am I going to play? And so my wife had downloaded Octopath Traveler 2. I believe I played the first one on 3DS. I believe.
You're thinking about Bravely Default, I think.
Bravely.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Octopath was a Switch game. It came out on Switch first.
Okay. So I don't know if I've ever played that one. But now that it's coming to Xbox, I'm like, this is a really fun little, what turn-based? That was.
Yeah, I think
it was one I saw a lot of my PlayStation friends are like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like that one got a head turn. Like, wait a minute. They're getting the JRPG game?
I'm pretty jacked to play that with achievements because it had achievements on Steam. It looked like so.
I think you're right. Yes,
it's really pretty.
It's got a beautiful, cool art style. There's the word I want is escaping me, but almost like a papercraft, like pop
2D HD or whatever they call it.
Was this one that like Jason Lacey was in love with?
For a minute.
Okay.
And he fell off of it toward the end, but Carol loves the game.
It's a good game.
Garrett, a lot of folks really like it.
Sweet. I never finished it. I mean, but then on top of that, like we're getting EA Play on Game Pass on PC finally. You will need to bring EA desktop app into your, sort of environment, which I know, Donnie, you have feelings about.
Sucks.
It sucks. However,
oh yeah, I mean, don't have that.
That app blows. But
look.
I
had thoughts about it. I said it. At the end of the day, you get your games, and that's all that matters.
There it is. That's the thing I was going to go for. Who cares? Who cares at this point?
My personal thing, I have a personal vendetta against PC, and one of my PC vendettas that I hold is the fact that you have to launch 8,000 programs to play your games. And I remember when I was getting into the Epic Games Store, I think I got Far Cry 5 for like $10 or something, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play it on PC. And I launched it, and then it launched a downloader for Uplay, and then I had to launch it before I could play. I was like, what the hell's happening?
Welcome to video games on PC.
I really didn't want Game Pass to turn into that. I fully understand that this is how PC is. I fully understand for Microsoft to get EA Play and Game Pass, they probably had to make this concession. I get it. I understand the why. Still don't like it. Think it sucks.
Yeah.
The silver lining is on xCloud, on game streaming, you won't have to do that.
Theoretically.
So if you just want to play through the browser or play through your Game Pass app, you can stream Madden. It's there already. So you won't have to do that. But still, what I would have liked to see them do is, you put the API credential in on both apps, and then you play where you want to play. I don't like you've got to download this app. You're a subscriber to this, but you got to download ours. Let them play who cares? Why does anybody care? It's the whole point of the API. Let them, put their login on Game Pass, put their login on EA, and play on whatever app they want to. Isn't that how Steam does it?
I think it's, yes, but also Steam pays to license those games into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's different,
But can't you, add your entire library even from other launchers to Steam?
No. It'll just launch via
the other launcher.
Yep, it'll do the same thing.
What a mess.
Here's the thing. People who play on PC, largely, and I get your complaint, and your complaint's not wrong, it's just that people who play on PC are just so used to it, they don't care.
I get it.
They get their games for free. They don't care. Who cares?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I still don't like it.
You don't have to like it.
It's not clean. It's not nice. It's like I'm subscribing to Game Pass.
Look, here's the thing. PC is not nice and doesn't like you. You're going to have to let that go.
As someone who's used EA Play on my laptop for a couple of years, I really enjoy it. So
it's not a bad...
Madden on the PC is a fun way to play when you're at work.
I played, I guess I didn't use EA Play. I guess I used Origin or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll play with it. Why wouldn't I? And one more quick note. Age of Empires is getting an event on April 10. I'm excited about this because I love Age of Empires. I expect PC news for Age of Empires. I don't expect console news, but woo! Yeah. So.
I was still sad when they took it off of mobile.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
It's a fun one to play when you had some time.
Age of Empires is just one of those games that's kind of like my go-to RTS. Everybody has theirs. For some people, it's StarCraft. For me, it was always Age of Empires. So I get excited. I get pumped. Let's talk a little bit about Game Pass before we kind of get to the next note, because we had a couple more related questions, or one more. Tony asked, should Xbox slow down with the game releases to Game Pass? I'm curious if people are going to expect this level of gaming coming every month, and if it will come back to bite them.
That's a good point.
It's an interesting point.
I'm a hard no. Just keep putting out games.
Agree.
Every month, all months, until the online E3 happens, and then go nuts for another 2 months.
Just do more games.
Just keep going.
Doing this keeps the pressure on, kind of. Like, it keeps them in the news. People excited. If they can keep doing this in some capacity, then man, crank the juice.
Like I said, it's cost them lots of money. Like, to get Empire of Sin and to get Outriders, like, it costs them lots of money. But what they are doing is they're they're taking the Netflix approach. It's the how can you not have Game Pass?
Exactly.
That's another thing we saw floating around a lot on Twitter. Could you imagine not having Game Pass? Like everything you're missing, it's so worth its weight. You remember how Netflix was? Like early on, it was like, how do you not have Netflix? They have all this stuff. It's, it's $7. That's kind of where they're going now. They're just kind of hitting you over the head with so much value that you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not winning anybody over by sticking out, because like they're making it worth its weight in gold to make sure that you jump on, regardless of what you play on or where you play.
It's wild. And I mean, not all months have to be Outriders with Empire of Sin and big money purchases and Octopath. They can have these waxes and wanes, but I think that they should keep the volume up. Even if there's a month or two that aren't the most exciting for most people, that's fine, because but next month there'll be more stuff to look forward to. And that's what people should get. And
and at least it makes people excited that it's possible. They can start
excited.
looking at the calendar and be like, maybe when's that going to come to Game Pass?
What's April going to look like? That's what they want. What's April going to look like? What's May? And then people are talking about it, man. Like, let's keep talking about it and annoy everybody else.
Hyperdot is leaving Game Pass at the end of the month.
Oh, no.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Play it. That's an excellent, excellent game. Play it before it leaves. At least spend a night with it this weekend. Because if you want to buy it before it leaves, you'll save a couple bucks. So you save $4 off if you buy it now. I already own it. I bought it. It was in Game Pass when I bought it. And I suggest that you do the same, because it's a stellar little puzzle game. One of the best. It's like one of those evergreen titles that you can play like Tetris. Whenever you're just in the mood for something else, you can always play Hyperdot.
Man, I should probably play that. I haven't played it yet.
It's real good.
I'm just going to end up buying it. I know who I am. All right, one more note, kind of Game Pass related, Game Pass adjacent. During the Bethesda business last week, they kind of quietly said, hey, we're adding FPS boost to some of our Bethesda games. Well, that first run of those games has dropped, and it is Skyrim. These are the games that needed it the most, kids, so just listen up. It's Skyrim, Fallout 4, Prey, Fallout 76, and Dishonored Definitive Edition. All of these games could use the frames.
John Linneman at Digital Foundry called it perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect back compat emulation. He was like, I don't see how this could be done any better than this is.
I started downloading a couple of these because, I haven't played Skyrim in a minute. I really liked Prey, but I've only been through it once. So this is what my game time has been this week. Like, ooh, let's see what that looks like.
Dishonored Definitive Edition is the remake, or is it just the first game?
It's the first game, but complete. So including its very good pieces of
Amazing
DLC.
Game.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing game, by the way.
That game gives me feelings. I love that game. There's a level in the second game which blew my brain open, and I love it. So
one of my favorite franchises. I was really mad that the third one didn't get more love. That was a really great game.
Death of the Outsider, the standalone. Yeah, that's a great piece of. I complained actually last week that it should be on Game Pass as soon as they can get it on, because it's very good. So if you like any of these games, and there's got to be at least one in this list, and you own an Xbox, you should probably try this, because it's wild on Skyrim. It's playable. 2021. It's not a framey mess. It's
we finally made it.
Fallout 4 runs pretty well too, and that thing was a chug fest. So, man, this is kind of wild. This has been a wild week, because that's a third of the news. They're still
there. Well, let's now. I think is a good time to talk about what you've been playing. What you've been playing, Mo?
Well, I've actually gone back to 2013, Coach Mo. So before I met our boy Nate, before I met Dan and all those guys, I really just played sport games and then played whatever story game when I wanted to. That was my whole thing. And then I met them and I tried to branch out and do more and blah, blah, blah. And over the last year, I've gone, nope, I'm just going to do me. So I play Madden. I play FIFA. Play a lot of FIFA.
Right.
Oh, God, I love my FIFA. And right now I'm stuck on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've dumped maybe 30 hours in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm so excited now.
Playing an hour or two every night. I remember you spoiled this for Sean. So Sean, spoilers. Spoilers coming for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is 4 months old. Again, spoilers for a 4-month-old game.
Hold up. If I only had a red flashing thing to put Donnie, I'm going to need a graphic for the next time.
Spoiler alert.
No, it needs to say spoilers for Sean. That's what it needs to say. I need to be specific.
The first, I found out why I was having a hard time with that game. I didn't realize you were supposed to unlock the abilities every time you earn 2.
Oh.
So I had this little rectangular number of 15 in the top right
God.
corner.
Oh.
Like, what is that for? It's like
No.
things I'm missing. I'm like, this game's like hard. I was like, man, this thing is tough. So finally put that together. I was like,
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. Okay.
So this makes me stronger to kill the bad guys. Well, I just got to the part, again, spoilers for Sean Capri and anybody else who has not played this game. He typed muted. Goodness. I just got to the point where Siegfried, the brother, gets his arm chopped off by the crazy chick. And I'm like, man, this map is so huge.
Yup.
And then I just found out there's a whole other island I'm supposed to go to that I completely missed.
Dude, there's so much video game there. You could actually, and I've said this because I keep saying, oh, I'm still playing this game because I do what you do. And I'm like, for an hour, I'm going to raid and pillage and be a Viking. I could just do this forever. It's never going to end. It's the greatest.
So, but yeah, I've in between FIFA and Madden, I've really dove in back into that hard, and I'm really enjoying it.
I think Kyle said he played it for like 120 hours or something.
And didn't even finish everything.
And it never, like, do we even know if does it have credits?
I don't think
does it actually roll credits?
I think it does what Odyssey did, and it basically just spits you back out and says, hey,
Just
do
keep
whatever.
going.
And I like that.
Here's the Easter event.
So
Right.
we had a comment from the RBM, Bobby Miller. I have a daughter. I'm a full-time teacher who teaches online and face-to-face students, and I'm working on my doctorate, and I also coach 2 sports. So
I haven't played. I'm with them. I haven't played Valhalla to the end either. I had to tap out.
I'm not to the end, but I
like
have it
80, 85 hours. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I just keep it's like Zen for me because the controls are kind of similar enough to Odyssey where I can just kind of like play for an hour and be like, I'll forget about you for a week and a half, and I can still remember how to do it. I need to be a Viking today. It wasn't a good day. Just keep it, you know.
But yeah, really enjoying it. But yeah, that's really it for me. I haven't touched the PS5 except for Miles Morales. It's cool that I finally have my own, but it's been a lot of, God, FIFA's so good. This is the best FIFA they've ever made.
Do you say that every year?
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, time out. I did not say that in 2018.
I'm just playing with you,
but
Mo.
I have said it 3 years in a row.
Okay.
I was very disappointed when a certain remake of a basic skateboarding game got Sports Game of the Year over an incredible game like FIFA.
Like when Mario Kart got Racing Game of the Year.
Stop that.
Why do you have to hurt? Why do you have to hurt him? Wait, he's not going to want to come back.
I was with him. I thought it was egregious, and I loved Nintendo. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Boy, there's old wounds being opened, blood spilled everywhere on this show tonight. Woo, it's spicy.
Speaking in Game Pass, Coach, I too have been playing Madden this week.
What?
I played a lot of Madden. I've been playing that. It's terrible story mode. It's really
it's bad.
That's
bad.
My
so
character looks like a Neanderthal or something. It's like the cavemen from the insurance thing. That's what my character looks like. They have all of these players that look like the players, but in the crate mode, you only can make like 6 combos. Like at most, it's like here's 6 faces you choose from. I chose the most realistic one, and I'm like, this is a person that has never existed.
So you went with dude who took a brick to the face 12 times?
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Baby?
He just had a lot of rubber bands that he wrapped around his head for a while.
Oh my God, what podcast am I on right now?
The best part about that mode though is I literally passed for like 6,000 yards in my first season and then still was benched the next year.
Yeah, you get benched. That's what just happened to me.
Oh
you get benched anyway. It's like I am balling out. They're supposed to rotate, and I'm crushing it, and they're like, and you lost the job.
So here's the deal. They assume that people like me are going to play that mode and be awful because I'm awful, and that was written for people like me to be bad and then get.
Oh, it's so bad, but the game is so good. It's so pretty. It's so much prettier than I even anticipated. And I'm not sure if it's just because I finally threw it up on my TV with the Series X enhancements and all that, but it is stellar how good this game looks. I was taking pictures of it and sharing it. So I played a lot of Madden, probably far more than I wanted to. And let's see here. What else did I play? I beat Firewatch on the creator DLC podcast mode, which was epic. That's a great way to return back to that game. I learned so much more about the ending, and alternate endings that I didn't know from listening to them tell you like what you can and can't do and whatnot. And I was just like, what an excellent game this is.
Well, I'm just going to install 12 more games this week. Great.
I bought a few games, but I bought one that just came out. It's called Rays of the Light.
Okay, I'm listening. That sounds weird.
It has screenshots that look like The Last of Us.
Oh, I hear you.
It's very, very clear. Like when you see it, you're like, it's abandoned, overgrown, post-apocalyptic, like vines growing up, like, abandoned building, broken out windows and stuff like that.
Every U.S. city in 2021, right?
Very good. It's an interesting game. It's a walking sim.
Okay.
I liked it. After beating it, I immediately went to YouTube and I was going to just see some reviews, see how somebody gave it a 1 out of 10.
This doesn't surprise me. This happened with Gone Home as well, a game I really love, but it's not for everybody.
They're a popular outlet too, and I was like, oof, maybe it was. I really liked it. One, it was really pretty. There was a moment in the game. I'm not going to spoil the story. There's a moment. It's a short game. You beat it. I beat it in 2 hours. It's a short game. It's like $6. I mean, this is the indies of indies. There's a moment in the game that's legit frightening, way scarier than anything that I encountered in the medium, because it's doing in this particular moment, it's doing some almost like Eternal Darkness type stuff while you're in a tunnel. And you're walking around, and you're hearing footsteps and splashes and stuff.
No, thank you.
But there's nobody there.
Nope.
It's a lot of stuff like that. It's got some puzzles. The puzzle design, I would say, is obscure at best. Like if I was to take a shot at it, it's really obscure. Like you'll just find a key in a random drawer or like outside on the ground. Like just really, it doesn't really point you to do it. I had to look up the solution to a wire puzzle. Because I just kept clicking and clicking. I was like, I'm never going to get this. I need some help. But at the end, it was a metaphor kind of like on human destruction, society's, self-destruction upon itself. And it basically has like this really heavy like Chernobyl vibes. It's Russian. The creator is a Russian dev. And that's really like what it comes from. You see like kind of like a nuke exchange and a lot of propaganda. And it's kind of Kojima-esque, if I could whet your fancy.
I mean, like it's $6. You've already talked me into it.
If you're into stuff like that and you're into like figuring it out and letting things get weird, it's one of those games. It's a game like that.
Donnie, I really do need to update my saying to, instead of just I'm here for it, sounds weird, I'm here for it. That's the full actual. Sounds weird, I'm here for it.
Yeah, like if the weird Death Stranding is like your thing, if you're like, let's figure it out, like, yeah, there's probably something here for you that you'll like, definitely for $6. For $6?
Yeah, for $6.
It was a very enjoyable 2 hours for $6.
Out of context quotes from this podcast that are very fun. Sorry, y'all. Not even sorry. That one was.
And
then take that one.
And then I started playing The Evil Within. Amongst all of this playing, I started playing The Evil Within because I haven't played that game since it came out. That was right when Kevin and I first met. I think he was the only other person I knew that played it, the only other person that liked Shinji Mikami. And we had a question a while ago asking us like what games from this generation we want remastered. I'd like to change my answer to The Evil Within.
That one needs it feels its age. Like I played it.
It does.
A year and a half ago. And for me, it felt its age. Like I still loved it, but it was like hard, to enjoy it.
It controls like a game like that. It looks like a game like that. And that's not to say it's bad. It looks pretty stellar, actually. Yeah. It has a really cool art style and a very high contrasty, dark, bright thing. It uses darkness extremely well. Mm-hmm. And a remaster of it would look excellent.
And
I would love for them
with them to tweak some of the story beats enough so that you do not spend 2/3 of the game going, what? Just a little bit less of what?
If they enhance both of those games or release them as a double pack,
sure.
That's a great idea. Somebody should do that.
I never played 2, but really enjoyed 1.
2 is good. It's just a very different style of game. Like 1
That's
feels...
the craziest thing.
Yeah.
2 comes out. Me and Kevin loved the first one. We were excited for the second one. I distinctly remember it came out in a fall that was slam-packed with stuff to play.
It was about
I kept pushing it off, and then it got to the point where I'd push it off and nobody was playing anymore and completely forgotten about it. So I never played it. I tried to play it a few months ago, and I just wasn't in the mood for it. It's one that I was hoping would come to Game Pass. I just bought it. I wanted to
For
play it.
$5.
And I was thinking to myself, what a better way to get ready to play it than to go back and kind of, it's Sebastian, right? Let's kind of get reacquainted with all of this stuff and then play the second one. Because that, and I think that might have been a part of it when I started the second one, you know, like it's a weird start, you know, like you've got the house and his daughter and everything. And I was like, it's been years. I don't really remember. The dots weren't all aligning for me yet.
Dude,
so I think I didn't want to figure it out. You know.
They ended the first game and the dots hadn't all aligned. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit out there. And so I came into the second one hot off the first. So what had happened was I played Resident Evil 7, fell in love with Resident Evil 7, and started doubling back on horror games that, for whatever reason, I just hadn't played. Because I was an anxious person, because I didn't think it would be fun. And that was one that I hit, Evil Within. And then I doubled right into 2. And I started 2 and remember going, I just finished the other game. I should not have so many questions right now. Why am I so confused? Why? Deb's starting trouble in our chat. Deb, try to make a point. It's over here starting trouble in my chat.
But I agree. And
it's confusing. But 2 was more fun to physically play. Like it's just they got it kind of together. So if someone hasn't played 2 yet, you can get it real cheap, and I recommend it. It's good. Or just wait; it'll be on Game Pass eventually. For butt's sake.
What about you, Elaine?
Dude, I did Game Pass Bethesda Roulette, where I just went into the app and I clicked the big button that said Bethesda games are here now, and I said I'm gonna install Wolfenstein and Morrowind and Skyrim, and then I'm just gonna play like 15 minutes of everything.
I booted up Oblivion and played it for 30 minutes
because I felt like seeing how they ran. This is what I did. And my kids would come down and my kids would be like, Mom, that game looks old. I'm like, it is old. Now quiet yourself because it's on my $500 new console. Kids don't understand the excitement of that. I was really excited about it. Mom, how old is that game? I played this in college. Shut up and get out. Just that was my week. So yeah, the Wolfenstein is still good.
Yeah.
News at 11. Want to shoot some Nazis? Have I got the game for you? It's great still, and it moves, and it's fun.
How exciting was it, as a Bethesda fan, or at least a fan of some of these franchises, see so many people, I'm sure you did, like, I've never played a Wolfenstein game before, you know, and they're playing and they're loving it. We've got, let's see here.
The most exciting ones for me, while you look for what you're looking for, were people who said to me, I've never played Dishonored or Prey. And those are 2 that are kind of like, I love Morrowind and I love Wolfenstein, but Dishonored and Prey, I feel like slid under a lot of radars. And I want more people to play Dishonored because those games are just, like they make you feel so good, and you can go about them in so many different ways. And I just want everybody to sink into what Arcane can really do because they make great games.
Yep, the stealth in Dishonored, I still remember. I was like, this is exactly what I wish every Assassin's Creed game felt like. Like, give me this much control in the dark, and I will be the best assassin ever. But yeah, I tried to get that achievement where you play where you never alert anybody.
Oh god, that's hard.
The hardest, but so much fun to try.
I remember I tried that and it lasted like all 4 minutes.
So this is how I play, and I've described this multiple times. This is how I play every stealth game, Coach. Oh, I'm going to be so sneaky. Immediately get seen. Guess I'm killing everybody. Like
everybody will have to die.
Sweet. Metal Gear Solid 5 was just bodies through the desert. Just bodies. Elaine, you know it's a stealth game. I don't care. It went wrong. I fixed it. Why are you just walking through all these areas? I fixed it. There's no more people here.
Patron Robert, novelist, started the New Order, and he's never played it before. And he was sending me some DMs, and he was calling it like Captain America vibes and stuff like this. So he's having a ball. He's really enjoying it, and he's got a lot more to play. I'm going to give Youngblood another chance. I know Kevin continues to tell everybody it's better now, but we'll see.
It has been aggressively changed, and I mean to go. I played through and finished it when it released because I really just wanted to like it. You ever do that? You ever just hold on for so long because you're like, oh, but I liked all the other games and I want to like this one? That's what I did. And I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. So there was a little Stockholm Syndrome. So anyway, I started blasting. Hi, Ryan. That's pretty much me every time I play Hitman, and there's just a pile of bodies, and I'm like, how could I blow these up in the most creative way? I'm in a toilet with C4 in it. It's just, I'm a delightful human being. They shouldn't let me have children. All right. So it's mostly been the Bethesda game Roulette. Let's see how this runs on my $500 shiny box. So
that runs.
It's been fun. I'm having a blast. Speaking of, that shiny box is getting updates, isn't it, Don?
Yeah.
Tell me about this, because I don't I didn't poke around.
Insiders have noticed now. It's releasing out today, I believe, unless you're on the alpha preview ring. I'm on the beta preview ring. I'm the second one. They have the new suspend option. And a lot of people have been wanting to manage, your quick resume, and it seems like this is probably the first step to that. But the implementation of it is really to let you suspend games while you're downloading others. So if you had games that were in quick resume or you were playing something while you're downloading, your download speeds would be throttled.
To 20 megasecond. Just to be clear, this is broken, and it should not require an update to fix. When I make sure every app and game is quit, I get 150 down off my connection, which is blazing up to 200. As soon as I have one thing in suspended, suddenly 20. You get 20.
I don't mean to flex, Elaine, but my new gigabit internet, I'm downloading things at like 290, 350. It's like insane. Things that I used to wait like an hour, like go eat dinner and come back. Yeah. It's done like 15 minutes now. Like I can actually wait for it to be done.
Mine's gig too, and what it displays is not what I'm getting. I definitely can just be like, click, go to the bathroom, come back.
I'm hardwired.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, that's over Wi-Fi that I'm pulling 200. That's nuts.
It's crushing it.
My network is fast, but
the new feature does work really well. I was really impressed with it. Cool. I'm in the alpha. Which scares me every time because I'm like, there's a good chance one of these bricks me, right? Because that's the fear.
I see you like to dangerously.
I was in the alpha for years, and then they hit me with an update, and I couldn't access the store for 60 days.
Here's my thing. I clench my entire butt when I update the BIOS on my PC. I'm not equipped for alpha anything. All right?
So I moved to the beta. You accept some risk, but it won't break as much. I was like, okay, let's get a little safer over here.
Yep. Yeah, it's. I'm always a little nervous whenever that update comes in, but that was one of the features that when I got it, I was like, okay, this is great. Like, I'm able to download games a lot faster because I've been going through and just playing a bunch of little ones, like because I'm trying to get achievements, whenever. And you're in and out real fast. It's really good. So.
I'm glad that they're fixing this because it's overdue. Like, this was kind of an egregiously gross, weird thing that was just like, why is this like this? Ugh. I'm actually excited about this next one. New library banners for the Game Pass, including Leaving Soon, recently added, Play Later. That's a great idea. We've been asking for more sorting of the ridiculously huge library, so this helps.
Yeah, there's just little tiles at the top now. You go into your library and you can click on it and you can see. We were just talking about that. People wanting to know when things were leaving stuff. Well, they're setting that up for you.
Pretty pictures. I love a visual aid. I don't want to read a bullet list. I want a picture. I'm a simple creature. Donnie, have you played? Is this one in the beta version, or maybe someone's played with this? Apparently,
this is definitely happening to me. So last week they released an update. You might have missed it if you weren't paying attention. It got kind of lost in the Bethesda news. They released an update that fixed the controller disconnects, that fixed the issue with some people's consoles turning off. I never had that issue, but it was an issue that a lot of people were complaining about. One of the things that I noticed since that update went out that has been fixed for me is images. I was taking all kinds of screenshots last night and over this weekend, and they were lightning fast. And they've also changed the banners that appear when you take them. They're no longer like right in the middle where the achievements are. They pop off to the side a little.
Okay.
My stuff was popping instantly in my app on my phone.
Okay.
On the screen. And I think, I'm not sure because I didn't research this, but I think they've stopped it from automatically pulling videos. I think they're just automatically pushing pushing snapshots. And then if you want a video, you have to submit it. Like, you have to actually go click on it and send it to the cloud.
Oh, interesting. So, wait, does it still take the clips if you have the feature enabled? You can disable this feature.
It's all there. But like, I noticed I took several clips last night and they just sat there. They weren't loading. I actually had to go grab the clip and say, I want to send this to either, the cloud or Twitter or whatever. I sent it to the cloud and then it hit my phone. But the snaps were instantly on my phone. Like, as soon as I was taking them, they were popping on my phone.
I wonder if they're fiddling with it still. I'm certain they're fiddling with it still, right? But
sure.
I wonder if that's intended or if that's.
I think so.
Do you know what I mean?
I think the video is to move the video to lower their bandwidth to kind of maybe process that stuff a little faster.
That's interesting. I want to push the share button and have it show up faster. This is the one thing actually Nintendo does really well. It's a pain in the butt, but being able to push things to Twitter really quick is cool.
Their thing is, the reason that works so well is Nintendo's is local.
Well, yes.
They saves directly to memory and then you load manually. But it's not cloud enabled.
But you can't manually push to Twitter from console. It has to be from the app, correct? On the Xbox. You can?
I think
Xbox,
you can go directly
tweet.
from the console without going to the cloud.
Interesting. I'm curious.
Picture.
If you can do
I
that.
think you can. I think so.
I guess I'll play with that this week while I'm shooting Nazis in Bethesda games.
But you can't go from your phone to Twitter without it going to the cloud first.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I
because
think.
you won't see it on your phone until it hits the cloud.
Right. The phone, it's showing up in your app means it's already hit the cloud. I'm curious.
I took 20 screenshots last
Nice.
night and 5 videos, and I was playing PGA Tour, which is getting that bogey derby, whatever they call it, divot derby. That looks
I want to play that.
so much fun. I'm going to play it this weekend.
I'm so bad. I'm so excited.
But I noticed because we've talked about the snapshots a lot on our show and in our Discord, and I noticed a significant improvement, like a night and day difference from the first time I've ever had the console. I'm not talking about difference from last week or last month. I'm talking crazy difference from the best use of this I've ever used since I've gotten the new console. I was hitting the thing, and I picked up my phone, and there was the picture. I was like, oh, wow.
Is it still weird if you have HDR turned on?
Probably.
It's like, dude, the coloring is still bad. I hate
Probably.
that. It's driving me crazy. I wish they would fix that. It's the actual thing that keeps me from pushing images from one of those consoles.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it's like, it's always nice to see them improving the interface and like addressing stuff that just isn't working.
One of my favorite things about them, and I think it's a dumb thing to say, but as somebody who really likes UI design and web design, one of my favorite things about Xbox is how much work and effort they put into that experience. It's not like PlayStation when they're like, here's the UI, and you're going to enjoy it for the life of the console. And it's not just PlayStation. Nintendo, the same UI since the day we picked up the Switch.
Yes.
Like, it's barely moved. They've put the Nintendo Switch icon on it. That's like the only thing they've done to it. Whereas Xbox go through drastic overhauls and rebuilds. Like they're constantly, it's a constant grind trying to make it better. And even in the Xbox One generation, we talked about in our Xbox One episode, from where they started to where they are now is really, really a vast improvement with the store and everything that they've done. So I'm always looking forward to them making more and more updates, and I'm sure they'll get there. Whenever they get whatever they're going to do for streaming up and running, it's going to be real good.
It's not their biggest priority. I will say that I think that stuff like this is what made it a really good call for them to stick with the UI and move it forward. Just like make the Series X look exactly the same as the One X and just keep evolving it. It was a really smart move because it feels more fully featured and complete.
Mm-hmm,
and they're just peaking, and that's nice. It's good vibes. Yep. All right. Let's shake it up a little bit for a minute. Let's talk about the Xbox headset that came out this week. Donnie, you're still waiting for yours, right?
Mine comes tomorrow.
Of course it does.
It pisses me off. I wanted to talk about it on the show tonight.
You'll get some time with it. I've seen some videos floating around, and actually, like, all the reviews seem very positive, especially for the fact that it's a $99 headset, which is, to me, that's bargain price for the feature set we're talking about here, because the Arctis with this feature set is twice the price. Right?
Yeah.
The 9X is twice the price. The 7X
it's twice the price,
does not
and
have
like
the same features.
The other ones that do the Bluetooth mixing, I think the cheapest one in a review I think said it was $149.
Yeah.
And you're right. We were talking about it. I was skeptical.
Yeah.
Basically, coming out of this, I was like, all right, so they're going to try to sell a headset for half of what their competitors sell it, and they're going to tell you it's just as good. Like, I'm not buying it.
It is.
Most of the reviews have said this is the best headset you can get for $100.
The only downside I've seen, and I'll be curious to see how you feel about it, is like mic quality, which is fine because I don't want to talk to anybody anyway. But I really love the turn dials.
Yeah.
On the head, like watching people do that, I'm like, that's such a smart interface because I'm always just like, where are the buttons to turn up the volume? And I have to take the headset off. Like spin dials. I have spin dials on my treadmill. It's the most intuitive thing ever. It's forward to do one thing, back to do the other. It's brilliant. And I'm so excited about it. I keep toying with getting one. Mm-hmm. I have FOMO. This is a real problem.
You got a onesie. You need matching headphones.
Right? See, Coach is with me. It's like I keep seeing people, and I have like 12 headsets. I have an A40. I have 2 of the SteelSeries headsets, and they're great. See? You have.
I still have this one, and I was like, "Oh, this one's gonna break." It's like 3 years old, so I bought one of the SteelSeries as this will be my Xbox Series X backup. Have not opened it yet since launch because I have that one still, and it works perfectly.
I have I do the thing now where I pair like headsets are for a thing because I love headsets. Like I'm a sucker for a decent headset. Like this set of Logitechs are for the PC. There's an Arcsys that I use only for the PS5. I'm an idiot. But I keep looking at this thing. I'm like, those spin dials are so brilliant. It's only $99. This is why I'm going to end up divorced. He's gonna catch up to me eventually on this. But
I saw a Jez's review I would always throw out there, and I shared it, and he was very in depth. And one of the things I'm most excited about, he said, when it comes to Bluetooth mixing over wireless, it's the best he's ever seen. Remember, that was the reason why I wanted to trade. That was the focus.
Yeah.
He also said the audio quality not on par with the higher premium headsets. He's like, it's a little bit lower. But he also said, I don't think most people will know. He's like, you've got to be somebody that's really looking for that full sound that has, like, if you're that person, you're probably going to notice. If you just play with headphones, you just want a game and you want to hear the game. And a lot of people, when I shared his review, a lot of people were like, can I listen to music and play? That's what this headset is for, actually. That is basically the target demographic why this headset was made.
I was thinking about that because I've been playing a lot of games like Valhalla where I don't necessarily, I get to a point where I'm like, I don't need the sound. I could do some music right now for Viking Murder that isn't just the ambient in-game music. And I'm like dancing on the edge of that. So sure, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to walk into a Target in a week or two and it's just going to be there. And then it's going to come home with me.
You've got to
sneak into the cart.
That red card, 5% off.
Right? Yeah. And then I think I got a gift card lying around one of my kids bribed me for cash with. They like to be like, I don't need this gift card, but give me $25. Kids are smart. Yeah. So I don't know. Just saying, if I get one, you'll have to let me know what you think, Donnie. You might nudge me over the edge.
I would have bartered and said, I'll give you 20.
I tried that, and my 9-year-old was like, Mom, you don't get a cut. And I'm like, first of all,
what are you talking about?
Where'd you learn that?
I'm doing the service. I'm the bank in this situation. I'm doing the currency conversion. You have to pay a tax on that. That's how the world works.
My husband gets a whiteboard. He goes, let's talk about money. And I'm like, oh, run. The accountant wants to tell you about how the world works. Get out. Here's your $25.
If that had happened to me, I'd be like, oh, look what you've done.
I told him that the reason that I gave her full price for that gift card was because he threatened to give me a lecture about how a currency exchange works. And I can't today.
Good job. Now we're both in trouble.
God. This is how it feels at my house. Oh, God, Dad's here. He's like, why are you negotiating with the children? I'm like, shh. Stay in your lane, okay? I need this gift card. Calm down. All right. I got a couple more. Oh, my God, it never ends.
We have more. There's more news.
But wait. There's more from the ShamWow guy. Outer Worlds.
How do you think like PSXP and like PS5 folks are doing?
Why? We were doing
they got
so
like,
well.
What did they get today?
So well. They got games.
It was like there was like this there was an announcement today. They were like, we'll give you some games too. Please be excited.
Dev, the opinions of Donnie are not the opinions of all people on this podcast. He's starting crap because he knows it winds me up.
I've played Miles Morales. I heard Bugsnax is cute, but I'm not going to play that. And Demon Souls is still in the wrapper because I heard it was weak sauce. So I'm going to wait, and I have like 2 more weeks left when I return it.
Jeff Grubb is in our chat right now yelling at Donnie. That's how you know it's gotten bad.
PlayStation listeners, don't feel targeted. I'm just making fun of Devin.
Here's the deal. Don't feel targeted, but you're targeted.
hey, get your free Horizon game. Definitely get it.
Stop it.
But also pay $70 for Outriders, I guess. Like Dev.
I have never felt more like the mom of this podcast than I do right now. I'm going to turn this podcast around. We're going to go home.
He said, there's nothing on Xbox for me, says Dev, the person who was like the most excited person for Outriders I've ever seen.
I can feel myself growing new gray hair. We're going to move on. All right. So I can't with you. I cannot. All right. Stick to the good stuff, Donnie. Focus. All right. Have some focus. Outer Worlds got a performance patch.
Yeah, it did.
The Xbox Series X. Finally giving that thing 60 frames per
and
second.
PS5. And PS5, to be fair.
And I think actually this patch might extend back to the One X because it ran like poop there too. So,
wow.
Yeah. 60 frames per second. And the expansion DLC should be out as of the recording of this podcast, which is Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And isn't this thing on Game Pass?
It is, but not the DLC.
No, you have to pay for the expansion pass.
You have to pay for the DLC. One day I'm going to try it. Everybody was like, it's like Fallout, and I was like, I'm not going to play it.
It's kind of like Fallout, yeah. It's not
funnier Fallout.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like sillier and less self-serious. I had fun with it. I might dip back in to play the DLC.
I didn't use a gun in that whole game.
Really?
Wow.
I used a big baseball bat and just made it super powerful and just walk around just smashing heads. It was awesome.
But just Dead Rising at that point.
Yeah.
Basically.
My question before you answered it for me was going to be, but how did you do the murder? And I realized how that sounded. So glad you...
just upload. I just kept upgrading that one. It looks like a lacrosse stick almost. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like a cricket bat?
I don't remember, kind of. And I just kept upgrading that over and over again. And
it looks very pretty.
Like
one day, I'm gonna get like a stomach bug or something and be at home on the couch. And I'm gonna try it.
Let's put it on the back of the box. I got a stomach bug and it was fine.
Yeah,
just right on the back of the box. Good gravy. I can't. You're killing me today. I don't know. The DLC sounds good. I think you can pick up the expansion packs for like $20. So if you're into it, be into it. Speaking of expansions, we got one more. Doom Eternal is getting the second part of its Ancient Gods DLC. It's out tomorrow. It looks cool. There's more Doom. What more Doom?
More Doomslayer. The epic conclusion to Doomslayer's journey.
Your war against hell ends here. I don't believe you. But
did you ever play the first one?
No.
The first pack was like $15, $17, something like that?
I bought the dumb edition that comes with a helmet.
And I think the second version will be about the same price. It's like $30 worth of DLC.
How does it? I don't know how long the first DLC was. I was like, I knew they split
Doom
it into
Eternal
two,
was so hard, and then like in this one, they were like, and I played it on easy or whatever that mode was, and it was tough. And this mode, they were like, a real challenge for real Doomslayers. I was like, I'm out.
Come on,
this is where I get off the ride.
No, I want to be on this ride. I'm on that ride. I'm
nice.
gonna curse a lot. There's gonna be language, but I'm gonna ride the hell ride to hell again.
Oof.
For the very last time. Apparently, I don't believe that much.
Definitely play it. I love it, but it's tough.
I'm excited because I get excited anytime I get more Doom in any capacity. I love Doom.
Oh yeah. Doom. Now, let me ask you a question before we leave. After this, when's the next time you think you'll see Doom? It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I think it'll be a while because I think they'll
Friday.
Yeah. I mean, what's going to happen from you mean me personally? Because I'm just going to start looping back through the series.
Doom. The next Doom.
Oh, you mean for everybody? Oh,
yeah. It'll be like 2024, 20. Jeff's in the chat. Jeff, what's the plan for Doom? Well, see, he was on the Xbox podcast last night, and they literally just threw it to him. That's how they transitioned the convo over, and they're like, "Hey, have some insider stuff for us." That was it. I was like, guys, you got to be cooler about it than that.
This poor man has majestic hair, and people want to focus on what he knows about an Xbox. Please,
that's true.
I'm just very disappointed in the internet.
I kind of felt for him. There was a little pause. I was like, oh man.
I can literally hear him flipping his laptop closed and walking away. Like, nope, we're done. I'm done with you.
Who can flip their laptop down when you just said they have majestic hair? I'd wish for a compliment.
It was Dealer, and you know how Dealer will talk around. He's like, don't worry about it, Jeff. Don't worry. But seriously though. What's going
on? I think they drop Wolfenstein and Indie before they go back to Doom. That's me. Man. That's my vibe. I think they need a Doom break, which makes me sad.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I love Doom. I just do not put in your like copy your war against hell ends here. We all know that's not true.
Can't.
We all know
if it does, well,
Doom. Yeah,
we need lots more of it.
Doomslayer and Smash.
Stop.
Do it.
No, they can't do that.
Because then all the Smash characters will die.
Mario is already being murdered in mere ways.
Zero Smash characters can hold up against.
So, all right. So here's the thing. Okay. The reason I brought it up, because I think you're a resident id expert.
Facts.
Sure.
So if id is not going to do Doom, and they're going to take a break, and we know the machine is doing Indie and supposedly Wolf 3. We don't know that, but supposedly.
We don't know that, but...
So what is id doing then? Quake?
Maybe, but also when you really listen to this roundtable that we talked about last week, it sounds like those people will just migrate into projects that need work or help.
Oh, sure.
It sounds like they just do that. So I think that I'm not too concerned about what it is doing so much as how Bethesda is using resources in general. And I think that they'll just be like, hey, you want some shooter help? I got this guy.
Doom Trilogy?
I would love a third game in this series. I don't think you get to leave me off with two.
I don't mean to give you guys some inside information, but I heard they're working on the Jay Cutler game that a certain person pitched many moons ago.
This has got to stop.
It
stops now.
Donnie,
Jay Cutler is so far away from being relevant. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I now know how my mom feels every time I try to talk to her about
Coach, you're Andy Dalton now. You have to live with that.
I don't want to hear that.
You have to live with that.
No. I deserve to be happy.
Oh. Not on this podcast, Coach. You agreed to this. You said yes. You offered this up. What are you doing, baby?
Yeah, and he also brings up if Microsoft's serious about using IdTech. I was wondering, like, do you think they'll license IdTech?
I don't think they have to.
No, they don't have to. They don't have to, but like, could they? Could IdTech be like Unreal or something for them like that? That could be extremely lucrative.
I actually wonder, and I have no insider information on something like this, I wonder if it's as easy to bring people into it as something like that. Or if it's so riddled with like, but you have to turn the knob 3.5 times and shake it twice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. As somebody who does a lot of JavaScript and code, I know exactly what you mean.
I wonder, because you'd think if id was going to do that, they would have done it already. And that must mean that they're like praying to demons that live behind the code that it'll work for stuff right now. So I don't know. I think they're going to use their people as support staff for the other projects, and then when they're ready to do the next thing, they'll gel those folks back together.
Doom is they've done such a great job. A trilogy makes a lot of sense. I wasn't thinking that, but yeah, it probably makes a lot of sense. I get the feeling like maybe there'd be something new, like on the horizon for them.
But you'd be okay with more Wolfenstein. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
same idea.
To be honest, I know that they didn't do it. Avalanche did Rage, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I'd totally be down for more Rage if it did it. Absolutely.
I don't know. That first one was a little rough. It's just, I'd be curious to see what they
different day and time though.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, they have to rattle the demons the right way to make it work for them. I would rather they just make more Doom because I really like Doom.
Yeah, I mean that probably makes more money. That's probably the smart way to go.
There is that.
Quake sounds fun.
I would play more Quake also, especially if it's just like, hey, there's Quake on Game Pass. Play some
That Quake Champions one's fire.
Is it good? I
never
played it.
It's so good. It's a really good little shooter game.
Those are like my favorite words. A really good little shooter game. Ah, joy.
I'd say Battle Royale, but I feel like people would like just...
I don't think that's what it is.
I think we're good now.
Yeah,
we have enough of those.
I got that. I was like, maybe they'll do Battle Royale, and I feel like the collective internet just be like, "Argh!"
Yeah, I clenched. It wasn't good. Speaking of things that the internet is just frothing for, I suppose, or maybe against, I don't even know anymore. There's some Dying Light 2 info, but basically it was info that says, get ready for more info, and I think we're still launching this game by the end of the year.
That's true.
That's what they said.
I thought it was better than that.
That's what they said, though.
It was, but so here's what they did. They confirmed that, to their knowledge, it's coming out this year.
But they said pending any other COVID delays or something.
Of course.
Okay.
You have to say that in this day and time. Yeah. That's a big freaking deal. Am I the only person? Am I blinded by my excitement of this game? I'm the only person that's like, that's a sweet deal because we saw that collector's edition 2 months ago and we laughed. We were like, it's not coming out this year.
I'm still not convinced. That's the problem. I'm still not, like, I still don't believe it. You know?
You're hurt.
Yeah.
You're just wounded. Bruised.
It's like
you're wounded.
Your ex cheats on you and they're like, but it'll be different this time. I don't know that it will. You know what I mean? It's that feeling.
I hope they pull this clip and they show it in their next video like they did today when they kept reading all the mean tweets that they get. I love that.
That was good.
Every developer should do that. Instead of being cagey and obtuse with your responses, put people on blast. Put their Twitter account right up there. Let the rest of the gaming world see who these mean people are. I thought it was hilarious. I was actually really laughing. So for everybody that was taking shots about how uneventful it was, I had a good time. I thought it was funny, and I now get to look forward to playing it this year. And for everybody that's like 2021, remember Far Cry 6 was supposed to be out last year, and we still don't know when it's coming out.
I like that you're mad at Far Cry 6 now because you got hurt by Far Cry 6. You see,
that's right? Like we still don't know.
You're feeling it. You're like, if they told you 2021, you'd be like, I don't believe
the Rainbow Six Quarantine. Like Dying Light's not the only game that this has done.
It's
at least.
It's just fun to make fun of. And also, because I really liked the first game, so I want this game, and they keep toying with my feelings. You know what I mean? Come on. This podcast has been a real ride for me today. Like, I can feel my mother coming out of my soul. My grandmother is coming out. Like, the Italian grandma shaking a wooden spoon is happening right now.
I'm excited. I said it today earlier, right? You start... you start taking account for what we're supposed to expect in the last 2 quarters of the upcoming fiscal year, like basically from July through March or February. Like we're expecting Halo, we're expecting Horizon. We think there's a Forza in there somewhere. Like we think that Far Cry's in there somewhere. Dying Light 2 is going to be in there somewhere. Like all of a sudden, second half of the year looks pretty stellar compared to the first half of the year that we had.
Yes, and I think that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
With all the way the delays shook out.
Got a new Battlefield coming.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
They're going to throw all the sports games in there. Get a new FIFA, a new Madden.
Yeah, new FIFA.
They'll be the best ones.
Tiger Woods, PGA 2K.
So that's a big piece of random total out of nowhere news. So I guess they did a deal. 2K did a deal.
Tiger
with
switching brands.
And he dumped EA. And I'm like, bro, that's a huge deal.
It is a big deal.
And so they've got him now. So the 2K whatever golf game will be a Tiger Woods game.
Mm-hmm. PGA 2K.
With
formerly known as the Golf Club.
God, what an arc that game has had, right? In 3 years? 3 years?
Like the little studio that could, right? Little HB Studios. Took their little golf game that they made, 4 or 5 years ago, and now they have Tiger Woods. That's a big deal.
Bananas.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them because I love those games. That's my favorite golf to play if I'm going to play golf. That's not Mario
We're going to play this Divot Derby thing. They have Battle Royale golf. We were talking about it.
So hold on. Battle Royale golf in a Tiger Woods game next year? What? That's crazy.
It'd be interesting to see if they can do it right out of the gate. It was weird because last year, and I do not want to go on a deep dive tangent golf game, so get me out of here.
We're not.
But last year, they licensed specific golfers, so they were called PGA Tour, but they only had 8 golfers.
Yes.
It was 2 foursomes. It wasn't much. It was just a group playing golf on the weekend.
Well, once you have Tiger, it's probably going to be a lot easier to play ball with everybody else.
Only Jeff would know this, but there was a report that came out during EA's last thing that they were working on a golf game. For the life of me, I can't imagine what that is if they don't have Tiger. Are they going to try Rory again?
Yeah.
Nope.
And are they going to do Are they going to do dueling PGA games?
Now, here's what's going to happen. Tom Brady is going to retire, and they're going to grab him for the golf game. Okay.
Steph Curry on the cover.
They're just going to pull any retired other sports person, and they're going to make them in.
I know you guys don't follow sport, but they do have Bryson DeChambeau, and he's kind of making waves, so maybe he would be the cover.
You could have made that name up, and I would have believed you.
Facts.
Oh, Coach, you know who he is, right, Coach?
No.
Okay, all right. This is my last thing, and then we're getting off the golf top. Coach, there is a guy. His name is Bryson DeChambeau. Okay. He was one of the best, most decorated amateur golfers, and then he joined the PGA Tour. He's relentlessly scientific, engineering. He's all about it. He talks about all the angles and everything. For the last 2 years, dude has been beefing up like nobody's business. Powerlifting. Yeah. He's gained 100 pounds, and here's literally what he's doing on the PGA Tour. He's just smashing the ball past everybody, and he's arrogant about it. So every time these the RNA and the officials are like, "How do you feel about doing this?" He's like, "Look, whoever hits it the furthest, it's going to win."
Probably
and
going to
that's
win.
literally all he's doing. So he's basically Happy Gilmoring the PGA Tour right now. Last week, they had to tell him he couldn't take a line. They made it out of bounds on purpose because he was, instead of hitting it around the lake, he tried to hit it over the lake. Yeah. He's like, "I'm just going to go this way."
I would like a cartoon where he just puts the ball through the trees, just leaving the little holes like the coyote. Just.
Jeff Grubb says Michael Jordan, Bill Murray, Space Jam golf. I mean, that would be better than what I've seen of the screens of the LeBron Space Jam, which looks...
Don't take one of my favorite childhood movies and do this to it.
It looks rough, guys.
Don't do it.
Maybe they'll pull it off, but...
I implore everyone out there to read the novelization of the original Space Jam.
Bill Murray, Space Jam golf, that is...
No.
Caddyshack all over... Oof, that's good. That's real good.
All right. We have one more story because we're leaving golf land. I don't like it here. It's scary. So we're going to go. So this is a wild one. I guess IGN Italy released a rumor, right, Donnie, about when the headphones get plugged in, there was some sort of message that comes up.
Yeah, it wasn't a rumor. It was a legit. They plugged in the headphones and it was like, "Hey, your VR headset needs an update."
The update, yeah.
In Italian.
Xbox PR was like, "Hold up. The copy in this error message is inaccurate due to a localization bug. We translated it bad."
How do you translate?
That's
how do you
bad.
mistranslate headphones to VR? I'm pretty sure VR doesn't need localization. That's an abbreviation.
Look,
we know what VR headset is.
I am barely capable of speaking English, but I don't think that. I think this is bullshit. Like,
Phil specifically said he said it was this year. He was like, "We're not doing VR and everything."
Correct.
But
whoops. I don't know, man. They also the press thing they released says VR for console is not a focus for us at this time. Some specific language there. Look, they don't need to. It would be cool because I think VR is cool. But
we just send Jeff an invite. He can come tell us about this VR.
Jeff, run away. Jeff, don't do it. You're going to end up in Golfland. It's scary here. It's terrifying.
Yeah. I still think and I get it, headset, somebody can make VR, but still, it seems like a leap.
If you said headset to me, that's where my brain goes to. It goes to my VR headset. It doesn't go to my headphones. You
want headphones. That's the words you kind of want there, but I know that they're billing this as the Xbox headset. Like, that's what's on the box, I think.
There's a source, no VR for Microsoft.
Yeah, I don't... yeah, I don't see any reason why they would. There's no, what's the benefit for them, right?
Sure.
I think VR is cool. And I love it, and I wish it would come to more things that are very accessible. But I just don't think they see a benefit.
I don't think they need to Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it would be... And I kind of feel the same way about PlayStation. I like that they're pushing it, but I kind of feel like for the console maker, it's too much dedication of resources that could be otherwise be put to games that everybody could enjoy without buying the thing. It's... Yeah. Unless you're going to just go all in on VR, like Oculus. I kind of worry if it makes... sense. We were talking about on PSXP a couple episodes ago, because PSVR sold less than double digit, it by PlayStation standards, it did not sell well. Even by peripheral standards, by Move standards, by Kinect standards, it didn't do that well. And they're going to do it again, and I'm going to get it. So I'm not throwing stones. I like VR. Yeah, I do. I love Beat Saber. I'm a VR person, but at the same time, you wonder, it's is this really the best thing to be doing for everybody?
I'm of two minds. On one hand, from a business perspective for the console makers, is it really the best call? But on the other hand, somebody needs to put some kind of competition up against Facebook, because boy, does it feel super gross owning a great headset that's owned by Facebook right now. Do you know what I mean? I love my Quest, but also, Facebook, it's... And they are forcing you to have a Facebook account for that headset now. So it's I would love to see competition in the space just to give Oculus a nudge out of the spotlight, because it's kind of gross. But also, does it make sense from a fiscal point of view for Sony and Microsoft to do that right now? I don't know. I don't think so. So it's I want it, but I don't think it makes sense. I think that's the best way to say it.
And I believe on the Microsoft front, it's kind of like when you're working on a car, right? You have to have that engine right before you start adding on modifications.
Agree.
So Microsoft is just getting to the point where we're starting to see the benefits of all the work that Phil's done. So why would you jump in and start adding new components until you've actually mastered what you're doing? So that's why I think VR is not on the table, because their goal right now is let's do the game thing better. Yeah. Right. Let's have games. Let's show everybody that we're putting.
Oh yeah. That was the running trend this weekend. Xbox. You remember Xbox has no games?
Xbox has too many games.
that's the thing. Just too many games. Take them back, please.
Coach, the table just says Game Pass. It's just a Game Pass shaped table. That's what they want right now. And I think that anything else they add blurs the message. And I don't think Phil wants that. I think he wants everybody to just think Xbox and immediately Game Pass. That's what he wants right now.
So I think it's one of those things. I think part of the reason why they got rid of Mixer was because of that. They're like, you know what? This is taking resources away from something that we care more about. We have to get games right first. Once the games are right, then you can start dabbling in other areas. Again, PlayStation did the games right for quite a while.
Yeah.
Right? And so they said, you know what? Who cares? Let's have some fun to make a VR headset. And
I think they'll continue to do another headset too, because they've got an install base and they can. They've got the juice, why not? So, you're probably right. I think it would be cool to have an Xbox VR headset, but also...
I do too.
Any VR headset I kind of have to cable to something right now, I'm not all about either. So it's kind of tricky, I will kill myself. I will tangle myself. I just want to
play Beat Saber.
That's all I really want to play too.
Can I just get a Wiimote and Beat Saber without the headset? Can I just put it on the TV and play it? That works. You don't need VR to play. Just let me play Beat Saber.
I literally still own my Quest for Beat Saber.
Man, if only Kinect was still around.
Don't say its name. It'll wake up from the box in my closet. And
I'm like, I have one behind me.
Somewhere Don Matrick was like,
Coach looked behind him like, is it alive? Did you wake it?
I was like, did it just turn on?
did it just turn on? Just like, ding.
I will never forget Xbox capture that, right? Is that the way you would say it when you wanted it to clip something using Kinect? You could tell it to capture a clip. Like
Snap that.
Snap that. No, Snap was to put things on the screen.
Sidebar. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Oh God. But it was like Xbox
Capture that.
Oh, gross. I already have one robot lady in the house I talk to every day. I don't need another one. So.
Nice.
All right. That's the news, and I'm mentally exhausted. It was a lot.
In other news, Coach, I tried to get Dev to come join the show. If he would just profess his love for Game Pass, then we could have Donnie, Elaine, and Dev weekly Xbox show. Is that the most epic of shows?
I love Dev, but this...
Dev and I do a really good job together of not being prepared. And you two have been way prepared. So that balance, that is some yin and yang, baby.
Yeah, we come in pretty hot on this.
Kill it as a trio.
I love that. Yeah, we would, though. It would be good. But I was like, nah, I know better than that. Because all you two would do is fight, and then I would have to mom you two. That's what would happen every week.
I think a lot of people would be here for that.
I think so, too. People like listening to my angry
I think
Italian
that sounds
mom.
like, I think that's how we corner the market. This is how we win, Elaine.
Angry mother yells at podcasters for 1 hour and a half every week. Please like and subscribe. Also talks with their hands a lot. Yeah, it'll be perfect. All right, Donnie, we got questions this week. Any more that we want to touch on?
Yes, yes.
Clicky. I'm going to start one before we get going from Rebecca that she tweeted at me. Question for Elaine. What are you doing to celebrate Jax's birthday today? Jax is my dog, just so everyone knows.
I'd like to just point out that the dog got a birthday question.
Yeah.
Not me.
No, me neither, but that's okay.
Co-host of the show.
The dog is very attractive. He's well loved. Does he get extra treats, a longer walk? We need to know what the good boy gets. So check it out.
Ain't that some stuff?
He's special to me. My German Shepherd turned 6 years old today. He got salmon, rice, and broccoli in his dinner. He got 2 walks with both kids and my husband instead of just 1 walk where he got to bark at the squirrels. And I made, with whipped cream, I made a 6 in a bowl for him. Because I always give him whipped cream on his birthday. Usually he gets a smiley face, but today I made a 6. So that's what he got, and I love him very much.
That's adorable.
Yeah, we love him. He's my 3rd child, so...
Respect. That's a good B-day for anybody. Salmon is a gift.
Yeah, right? He got hooked up.
For all the news that we did and everything, we're still pretty good. We're only 1 hour, like 18 minutes. We can do some questions.
Let's do some freaking questions.
Let's do some questions.
We got let's go.
Bowser wants to know, will non-Game Pass games be available on xCloud in the near future ever? As in, buy the game and you're able to stream it on xCloud. Bowser, my understanding is that's already there because you can use xCloud to stream directly from your console.
Your own console.
So even if it's not in xCloud, as in Game Pass, you can still set up remote streaming and play on the go.
That's bananas.
So it's kind of there. It's not the same, but it's the same. It's there. Like you can do that.
Do you think they'll ever integrate it into the cloud feature?
Like you just log in xCloud and it's Game Pass
There's your library.
plus everything you own?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I absolutely could see Microsoft doing that. That sounds like a services-like approach solution to that. Yeah. That doesn't sound out of the question.
I would totally be there for that, too. Like, that would be great, especially when I'm traveling or in a hotel or something.
That'd be insane. I have so many tiles. There's
Oh
so many games in my library.
Actually, you know what? I take it all back. You should just buy a Series S and leave it for when you travel. Just shove that in a box somewhere.
That works just as well.
I only keep like 10 things installed. You're terrifying.
FIFA on my phone.
You would lose your job.
Yeah, I would not be a good teacher.
Dude, I can't wait. Like that. So there's a secret event being held in like 10 days. It hasn't been announced yet. The 26th, I believe. And there's a lot of people talking about like some indie games. We might see Tunic there. We could see things like that. And I expect that maybe like xCloud, this browser option, because here's all right. So here's what I do know. Sharing some insider knowledge. There are people playing the browser version. Like when I see people, the press and everything, they already have it. So it's like real soon.
It's close to done. Yes.
It's real close. So I'm imagining that might be there.
And is that their E3 available now type of one of those announcements?
Maybe. Yeah.
Is that just like E3 stage? Like, and you can do this right now. On your
I'm
phone,
really excited and I mean it, really excited to pull up my Chromebook, go to, GamePass.com or whatever it is in the browser and see if I can play my Xbox games like that. Because if it's like Stadia, even in 1080p, that has to be such a sweet deal that I can do that on my console. I can go upstairs. If they release like we've talked about like a Roku device or something down the road, like that's going to be so much fun.
I would be more excited about it if I wasn't still trapped in my house 12 months later. Like
Sure.
if I was still going about my normal life because I'm the type of consultant that does travel for work pretty frequently, and I'm on planes and I'm in hotels, then I would be like 4 times more excited. I still think it's awesome, but I would be
It has
way
like
more
a
excited.
Switch-like wonder that you could just be in another room of the house.
I can
play on your tablet.
I lay in bed playing
phone,
Switch all the time. Just laying
your
in
laptop.
bed.
Yeah.
With the good pillows. Just like, yeah.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Playing Madden from bed.
Can you imagine just sitting in a bubble bath, Coach? Just in a bubble
your
bath.
friends at Madden.
You didn't have to pay for it. You didn't have to get another account. You didn't have to set anything. Like, you just log in, and it's just there, and you just press play.
Just hanging a nice 50 burger on someone.
I'll just
Watching TV with your wife.
Playing turn-based
What a
RPGs.
day.
If I could play Octopath Traveler while I was running on the treadmill, because I could just play a turn-based game while I'm running on the treadmill.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
Might be soon.
This is how I fall off the treadmill and a video ends up on the internet, by the way. Anyway, this is my final destination moment. What else we got, Donnie? What else do we want to hit?
Ooh, I thought you were going to take the next
I'm
one.
kicking this to you today because I wasn't paying attention.
I want to do some old ones. Would it be crazy if we took Coach's question while he's here?
Yes.
Fortune Tower DM me today.
Okay, yes.
So I want to do this one. He says, question for the Game Pass podcast. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Is there a game that you just couldn't enjoy or finish because you hated the main characters so much and you couldn't stand any more time with them? I submit from 2008 on the Wii, Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World, Emil and Marta, the biggest, whiniest wet noodle pushover with the over-the-top obsessed cringe girl. That is a question and a half. My answer is Metro.
Really?
The dialogue and the writing and how these people talk to each other in Metro, I could not stand. It's the last one, whatever the last one was.
I get them mixed up.
Yeah, I don't know which one's the numbers and the years. Yeah. The newest one.
Yeah.
I remember I played it. We got it. Me and Kevin. We played it independently of each other. We weren't playing together. And we came to talk about it on a podcast, and we were like, it looks beautiful. The guns are good. But those voices, he was like, right? I know. It was the first time we actually agreed. We were like, it's real bad. Like, it was so bad. I was like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Wow.
The Coach, daughters in Youngblood get
the daughters.
Close.
I was gonna say it's close with how
close.
It's like very campy, and it's just over the top in a way I don't love. The voice acting is a little too much for me. It's up there. Coach, do you have an answer for this one?
I do. I have 3. I'm trying to decide which one it's going to be.
Just tell me all.
It's Link from Breath of the Wild. Like, dude, just tell her how you feel. Tell Fish Girl how you feel. Say,
I was cheering for Fish Girl too.
Fish Girl, I love you. I want to be with you. You're the one for me. You've always been the one for me. I'm sorry you had to die.
Her name is Mifa.
Yeah, we know her name. It's just more fun. Yeah, at least I do. Coach,
I don't. So that's that one. The Sun in God of War, the remake. Just so repetitive.
Ooh.
Like, I had to stop. He just keeps saying it over and over. I'm like, shut up. I'll figure it out, dude. Relax. I'm gonna smack you.
Did you see his eyes when he looked at the camera? Shut up.
Those are the eyes of a teacher who's taught children.
That kid just drove me bananas.
Those are the eyes of a teacher who's taught kids who will not listen. I know those eyes.
Did they only have him voice over 3 lines? Because that's what it sounded like.
I actually got
saying 3 lines.
I'm actually replaying that game now, and the point in the story where he becomes an insufferable brat is hard for me because I'm like, young man, sit down.
Just shut up. I can do this without you. I'm a god. Like, relax.
Look at me, bro.
Daddy's home. Like, go sit in the boat.
I'm just gonna say that every time I play the game.
Yeah, please do. And the other one is actually Spider-Man, the Peter Parker one. He's just so whiny. I hate him as a Marvel character as well. Like, I hate him in the movies.
Fair enough.
Love the Spider-Man movies because the other characters rock. Hate Peter Parker.
Fair.
And so it's just the whininess.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's under my skin. Like, I literally, in the last one that came out,
I did boot up the remaster PS5.
the Far From Home one.
It looks really good. is real pretty.
Yeah, the voice acting. I mean, yeah, I could see that. I like Spider-Man. I don't love this current iteration of Spider-Man.
Love me some Miles Morales though.
Yeah, Miles is great.
Miles is my guy.
Miles is great. I think Final Fantasy X is probably my answer to this question. Those are some. It's hard for me. The Final Fantasy has some whiny ass characters, but that is the most whiny of characters, and it was. I can't. I know how good that game is, and I still haven't finished it because I can't. I don't wanna listen to you anymore. Shut it down, man-child. So I think the thing that we're wrapping all in here is like when the characters are insufferably complainy or whiny. That's where it's like, no, I can't. Grown-ups are home. Please stop that. So.
Facts.
Sure.
Facts.
I want to go back to xCloud. Brendan asked, will we see xCloud on Xbox after Xbox is focused on putting in everything from smart TVs to your Xbox fridge? It's amazing to not have to download a game just to give it a try, and I do love my application from streaming from the start years ago was it's the perfect way to deliver a demo.
Agree.
You can just play it right away, a little thing, jump in for 10 minutes, you can put a timer on it. It will definitely come to Xbox. They're on record, they've said it. I imagine that it will come to Xbox last. Because putting xCloud on Xbox literally gets them no new business.
Correct.
So I imagine it will be last. If anything, it'll probably come to Xbox first via the browser. Actually, probably launch the new Edge browser, and then when it makes it to browser, you probably play Game Pass or xCloud through the browser before it actually gets woven in some sort of native real way.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I'm going to double back up to one we kind of skimmed past before from Chris. Do you think we'll get any exciting announcements from Square Enix and any plans to check out Avengers with Series X or S update coming out tomorrow also?
Life is Strange Day, baby!
I'm super pumped about... So for me, new Life is Strange is very exciting. I'm pumped for it. I actually do plan to finally play Avengers. I dragged my feet on this game for so long because of what people said that now I'm just like, well, there's an update. I guess I should boot it up. And I'm like, this is still in the shrink wrap. I'm a bad person.
Keep it in the shrink wrap. It's worth more.
I have heard that the Kate Bishop stuff is fun. Coach, damn, dude. Woo! You're spicy today. I like this. This coach is good. Just as a single player game is the way that I would play it, though. I have no interest in playing the multiplayer in any way.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Let's not lie about it.
Yeah.
That game's rough.
I do want to play it, though. Just coach.
They just lied so much.
I know. See, I didn't follow it, so I have no expectations. That's the good part
I
about
didn't.
being
I dismissed
me.
it from the E3 unveil.
Yep.
Wow.
I was like, oh, they're trying to Destiny that. No, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by this.
And for brutal. 3 years, Dev was like, it's not that. And then it comes out. And it's kind of that.
I have the collector's edition in that closet just sitting there for a reason. It's not allowed to be displayed because I'm still mad
God,
at it.
you own that? I keep walking by the one copy in my Best Buy that's just so sad and turned on its side and no one shoved back. No one.
It's where it belongs.
There are very credible rumors, insiders that are very excited for some Xbox news tomorrow. I don't know if it's related to Square Enix. I don't know if it's unrelated to Square Enix. There are very big, strong Sega RPG rumors.
Yeah,
to say that without saying it.
It's all floating about. I don't know. I'm really becoming a believe it when I see it type of person.
Might see Joker on Xbox. Not the Batman kind.
You're so subtle.
It's possible.
You're like a dog trying to sneak up on someone.
Trying.
The least subtle.
Have you ever seen it? Yeah. And you're like, we see you.
I'm looking right. There's a clip of a Doberman pinscher doing this to his owner, and the dude's like, Steven, I'm looking right at you. You're the dog.
Yeah.
You are Steven. Thanks, Donnie. Well done. Let's hit one more here from Zero Skill. So there seems to be a common consensus that the FPS Boost offering is kind of lackluster. This question's a few weeks old now. Do you think that at their rumored upcoming show they'll release a bigger, more impressive list? What would be your most anticipated title? Do we think going into E3 that they will push this feature more? Let me edit this question slightly. Because we got the Bethesda games, and that's the perfect application of this feature, is on games that chugged with big open worlds, to me. So.
You're right. I think this is a blog post thing. This is not something you feature. I don't want to see this in a showing or a video. Like, I don't want you to really make a point about it. I want it to be kind of in the fine print. Put it in the details. This is a detail. Like, have a page where I can see all the FPS boost, but like, on old game getting an FPS boost isn't necessarily a game changer for me. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, now I have to go play it. It's just more of a really cool thing to have if you wanted to.
That's interesting because I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I installed 3 games this week because of the blast about the boost, and I'm like, I was really pleasantly surprised by how nicely they performed, especially games that like Fallout 4 and we had words.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim, as much as I love Skyrim.
Far Cry 4 plays a lot better.
It's kind of unreal, so I kind of would love somewhere in between. Do I think it needs to be a showing and a big show? Nah, but does it deserve like the Inside Xbox or the Xbox Wire kind of grand
It's not going to be
feature?
new games. It's going to be backwards compatible games. So unless a new game is coming to back compat.
Or these games are now added to Game Pass.
And then you just kind of put the boost in the corner. You just get an icon, right? You don't need to talk about the boost. We get it.
Maybe.
I would love to see that boost added to the sports franchise like 2K. 2K's online is so clunky on the Series X. It's a fun world and it's so big and open. Like they've really done a lot to make that game a lot more. I don't know how to say it. Just like giving you this giant multiplayer map where you can run around and find your shoes or jerseys and stuff in all these different stores. But giving something like that a boost would be amazing. Right, really help clean that up so that when you are loaded in and you're loading in with 100 other people, it's not so clunky and jerky. It's a little more smooth. I would really like to see that happen.
I would like them to find some way in the middle. Like I think putting out a blog post where you blast it on Twitter is probably sufficient. I don't need it in a show, but yeah, call attention to it because sometimes for me that's enough to dip back into something.
It is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Somebody responded to one of the Bethesda makers today, and they were like, can we get this on PlayStation 5? They think it's Bethesda that's doing it.
Right.
And it's like, no, this is the back compat team. But there was somebody who's like, I bought these games on PS5. Don't I deserve this too? Like, they didn't get it, right?
Yeah. It's a Microsoft feature, and I think that the more games that they can apply it to, though, smartly, it's a nice, shiny little, like, oh, go play your games with it. And they're great.
It is very evident of that kind of that groundswell I was talking about when we started the show. I mean, you have Game Pass, and it's crushing it. You have back compat. You have FPS, you have auto HDR, you have, like, it seems like they just keep adding. They just keep adding to the pile, and eventually it looks like people are starting to be won over. They're starting to kind of let go of the Xbox One generation and maybe give the new Xbox a new chance.
I think it's maybe why it's worth making a big deal out of the FPS
That's a good point.
boost. Maybe it's worth just making a big deal out of everything because it seems to be working. We're
Remind
excited.
people.
Yeah, just like, hey, we're just doing stuff all the time. Blast.
I love the idea, like, because it's hard to get it's hard to get excited about 360 games right coming, but with the right 360 games and they're coming to Game Pass, you actually could make a great sizzle reel, right?
Yeah.
Here's 10, 15 games coming to Game Pass, 360 back compat. Boost. Some hard stuff. They're all boosted, all auto HDR. They look as best they've ever been.
Like put Dead Space
what,
up
Mo?
in there. Mo's having a moment.
Dead Space is good.
They can bring back the greatest Bethesda game ever made. Brink.
Oh, no.
Come back, guys.
I had wiped that from the depths of my memory, and the second you said that word, I felt like I was activated in the Division. I am not okay right now.
A Brink Battle Royale.
Oh, that game
not
was
okay.
garbage. No,
Let's go,
get out. You're never allowed back.
So I was all actually excited. I was like, Lollipop Chainsaw, let's do it.
Oh yeah, that
NCAA, man, if they could just get NCAA 14,
please,
just go to them and give them all the money. Yeah, give them the money. It's so funny that I know that Mo feels this.
Everybody does.
What a big win it would be if they got NCAA 14 back compat until the new game came out. You're talking millions of adopted Xbox consoles. People would buy a console for that reason.
What people don't understand is that the NCAA games were making as much money as the Madden games because there were so many diehard college football fans. If Xbox was able to get the just 14,
just back compat,
just the good one,
they're gonna outsell everybody for.
They wouldn't even have to resell it. Like they literally just, if you already own it, you can now play it. They don't even have to resell it. People will get 360s to buy it and then play it.
Yep.
Like it's insane. That's crazy. Can we do one more? So we got Mo here.
Yeah.
Rude Days 93. Assuming Indiana Jones and all Bethesda games are exclusive.
That's a big
in your
assumption,
opinion,
but we'll go there.
What are the top 3 most important announced exclusive games for Xbox in these coming years in order?
In order.
Well,
And that
that's
would
easy.
include
Excellent question.
First party Microsoft titles. as
First
well.
party, yeah, the whole gambit.
So we can all agree Brink would be number 1.
Get out.
Hang on,
really
I've been
do
meaning
feel-
to
I
do
feel-
this for somebody for a while, so we're gonna
Put him
fix
back.
this.
Put him. Mother of God. Wow. That's the first person we've ever removed. You got put in timeout. That's big dad energy right there. You're in timeout now.
I love it.
That was a big
Top
flex.
3. Okay.
Top 3. This
It's
is
not my most wanted.
No.
The question is most important.
I mean, do we all want to agree that Halo is on this list?
Halo's number 1 for me, I
Halo.
think.
I think Halo is the biggest one and also the latest one. I don't think we see anything after Halo that's big this year. Are we making assumptions about, are we saying only announced? Okay, important announced, so I can't even put Forza in here.
Elder Scrolls.
It's not, but that's not announced for this year.
No, but it's announced. I don't think it's for this year. He said in the coming years.
Oh, all right. No, you're right. Okay.
Now that it's first party, Elder Scrolls up there with the most important franchises
Sure.
they have to peddle.
Okay. I think for this year, Halo's a big deal and it has to hit.
I agree.
So I think that actually is the most important one right now because they're kind
If
of dancing
Halo
on a
hits, by the
precipice.
way,
Yeah.
tangent. If Halo hits, watch out. I don't know
I
if it
agree.
is, but if Halo hits,
I agree.
watch out. They're building something here, and to top it off with a big Halo, that would
If that's good enough to move consoles, then that's a steamroll game. Like that's a
it's
big
big.
deal. I think
real big.
Twofold. Because you need it to hit in the story and in the multiplayer. This Halo 5's multiplayer was butter. It was so
Yep.
good.
it was good
It
by
needs
what
both.
everyone tells me who plays it. So I think that's probably their most important exclusive in the next 2 to 3 years because they're standing on a precipice right now. They're like wiggling their toes at the end of a cliff, and they need this one to hit. I think
They do because it's going to be a minute.
it would be a huge boost. It would, yes, it's going to be a little bit.
It's going to be a couple years. Like we had a great year last year and the year before that in terms of first party development.
Yeah.
So we're about a year and a half, 2 years away from kind of restocking the coffers, Gears, Motorsport,
Yeah.
and things like that. They're a little bit away. So Halo is kind of the bridge. You need Halo.
It needs to be good. It can't just be mediocre. It can't be okay. This thing has to be good, I think. There's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure on this game, actually. It's not my most important game because I'll take it or leave it, but I think it's a big deal for Microsoft. So, and I agree with
agree.
Elder Scrolls. I
I agree.
deeply agree with Elder Scrolls being a big deal.
I'm concerned with what I would say is my third. It's really hard for me. I'm torn between 3 or 4 for the third spot
Let's hear
for
them.
all
Let's
different
discuss.
reason. And it's the all right. So the one that I want to say, I've got 2 really good pitches for Starfield
Yeah, that was
or
my
Hellblade.
Really? You think Hellblade is,
Starfield,
I think that one's important.
because if it's real big and it's an exclusive, then that's a brand new IP system seller type of
That's-
deal. Like it's big, it's important for the console.
Yeah.
Jeff, by the way, said it's this year. He said it.
That's wild to me.
It's crazy. I did not expect him, but he left himself some room. He's like, maybe it's early next year, but he's like, I think the plan is to release that game this year. Hellblade.
That's
And
an
I- and-
interesting choice.
Part of me in my own head, I'm like, this is just because you love Hellblade. I'm trying to wrestle with that. But they showcased Hellblade with the console.
Yeah.
Hellblade represents that type of game that a lot of people throw stones at Xbox for not having. And if it is the visual showcase that it's been touted as, and it's its showings and all this, they talk about Unreal and how lifelike and how beautiful and everything it's going to be. I think Hellblade could go a really, really long way at convincing some people that thought they wouldn't get an Xbox that they might need to.
That's an interesting one because I think because it's a sequel, I think a lot of people who didn't love the first would not be swayed. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like if it was a new IP,
No, I
it
get
might
ya.
have a better shot.
It's a good
You know what I'm
point.
trying to say?
Yeah.
If it was a hot new IP and people did not know what to expect, psychological kind of, story-driven narrative with combat and stuff like that, then maybe it would be different because they would be coming in blind and doing it just on
Do
the
you
way it
think though
looks.
that this game is going to be like the first? Because my impression is that it's going to be much grander.
I have to say, I don't know. They're not giving us a lot. Yeah, it might be bigger, but that doesn't mean it's going to stray too far from its roots to me. But I
okay.
don't know. It's so hard to say.
Sure.
This one, if I had more information about it, I might be willing to make the leap. I think Starfield will be a bigger deal because it's a new IP by a very recognized, huge studio.
My answers were Starfield, Hellblade, and then I also wanted to say Fable or Gears.
Neither of which have been officially announced, right?
Well, Fable's been announced.
Tease. Yeah, sure.
Gears
okay.
hasn't been announced, yeah.
Of those two, I would pick Fable.
Okay.
I think that
Coach?
has a fan base that misses.
So,
Would either of you pick any of those over on the next Doom or the next Fallout? Or like, am I just missing a giant Bethesda gaping hole of something here for
no, because
Fable or something?
I think Elder Scrolls is going to be the one that's exclusive. I don't think Fallout will be. I think Fallout's going to stay on multi-plat.
Interesting.
But I'm kind of torn between Gears and them doing something else, and that's where
something new.
Because I don't know where I read this, but there was something that popped into my head as you guys were talking, and it's they've done such a great job of pushing the envelope and trying to do things. Couldn't a game like Titanfall 3 end up an exclusive because of the partnership with EA? And wouldn't a game like Titanfall 3 tie in directly with the Apex characters? And that's where my brain was going, was maybe something from EA.
It's outside the box.
Something from EA becomes an exclusive. But that's where my head was. I was like, could be EA, or I think Gears 5 had a really nice story. Like, it wasn't great. I would say it was really nice, though. Like, you have this new
technical showpiece.
Yes. But you have characters now that you're reinvested in, right? You have a backstory. I love Kate. I'm a Kate fan.
Same.
And now you give me a really gun-ho Gears of War 3 style epic fight in the next one with that amazing multiplayer. I'm in. Right. And I want to say something like that would be that catalyst of continuing, hey, we've got the best shooters. Come play Halo. Come play Gears. You already know Call of Duty's better with us.
I think we could make the leap that a Forza game would be in this list too, because that's an exclusive and they get iterated upon.
I just feel like so many people dismiss it, and I say that as one person who used to dismiss it.
I think that those have become incredible. Driving games have become incredible technical showpieces, right?
Yeah,
and that
very popular.
You can't get Horizon anywhere else. Okay, so the right, like, yeah, you got to. I got a dumb steering wheel too. It's right below my feet. I think that over something like I don't know what to expect from, I would choose either Gears or Horizon, the next iteration of Horizon, because I think that those games are like great. I'm 2 or 3 years into my console cycle. Look what we can do now. And it's on Game Pass showpieces. I think Halo's got a hit to make any of this work. Almost. You know, there's a lot of pressure on Halo.
No, you're right. They kind of bet the whole kitchen sink on Halo.
They put it on the box. Do you know what I mean? They know how.
Well, of course. I mean, that's their game.
That's their
right?
game.
You put Mario in the box. Like, that's their game.
You put Halo in the box. So I think for me, if I had to pick 3, assuming that a Gears and a Horizon are on the list, you know, Halo, the next Elder Scrolls iteration, I think is a huge deal.
That's so massive. It's
such a big deal.
If it's truly full exclusive Game Pass, like, that is a really, really big deal.
I think that will be the one that gets everybody to pay attention to the fact that Phil ain't playing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That's the one that matters. When everybody's talking about all this stuff, they really are only talking about one game.
And I think that's why that one's the most important of the Bethesda group, if I had to pick one. And then I would actually pick Horizon over Gears, because Gears is so well established. But I think Horizon, man, you want to show a thing off? You want to show what we can do?
What Series X can really do?
Yeah, that's the game. Like, rip it open. Crank the thing to 11 at 120 FPS, and let's go.
No, I promise you, I'm not going to go through every announced first-party game.
No, you're not.
But I want to pitch you one more.
Okay, let me hear one more.
If Obsidian actually realizes their full potential, and they make Skyrim out of Avowed, that's a fucking huge deal.
That could be a big deal.
I mean, Obsidian is real good.
But it's less of a big deal in a world where Elder Scrolls is console exclusive to Xbox. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah,
it's
you're
still
right.
a great Obsidian game, but
brand new
Elder
IP. It doesn't have the
6,
legacy and all that.
That's what it is.
I was thinking, like, would you put Avowed maybe in that spot over Horizon or a Fable or a Hellblade?
No, because Elder Scrolls is going to be there and it's going to be casting its shadow over that.
Mm-hmm. And we already know Avowed is just going to be like the appetizer before we get Elder Scrolls.
Kind of.
So you're gonna see Avowed probably a year
Poor
or 2
Obsidian.
years before.
Poor Obsidian.
Hey,
I like Obsidian's RPGs arguably better, personally, but I don't think I speak for the whole of the industry. And I think Elder Scrolls is such a behemoth that the shadow it casts is long, and I just think it's get swallowed.
Yeah, we're talking about Mass Effect-esque.
Yeah, it's big as hell, dude.
Big Zelda-esque. Like, this is a gigantic franchise.
Yeah.
So
I played Skyrim in a Tesla the other day. Like that's the level of Skyrim.
That's Skyrim on a toaster. Skyrim. It's true.
Yeah.
You play it on a Samsung fridge. You play Doom on a Samsung fridge too. But I think the reason I want to pick Horizon is I think that the driving game thing is important. I think that that's where Microsoft has actually managed to do it better than Sony. Like, I think the Horizon games and the Motorsport games are better than Gran Turismo. So I think they want to be like, look, we do this too. And I think that one's important for that.
Yeah.
So.
And I would absolutely make a big case for Fable. The problem is we don't know what it is.
I know nothing. It's like Hellblade 2.
We don't know what it is. We don't even. But here's the thing: we don't even have anything to pull from. We don't know the developer. Like, we know them, but they've never made a game like this. They've never made a Fable game before. Like, we really know nothing. We don't know.
And that art style scares me. I'm just when I saw the preview for it, I was like, "This is not the Fable I know."
Sure.
Oh, that's just a cutscene animation. That's just pre-rendered. I don't even know if do they even have an engine? Do they have a demo even up and running? I mean, I'm under the impression that Fable is 3-4 years away at earliest. 3 years.
That would be fine and could be in this conversation if we knew what that 3 or 4 years would look like.
It's hard to say it's most important when it's so far away and you know so little about it. And for all reality, it's a new IP. Yeah. It's a new launch. It's like a whole new thing. It's somebody that's never done it before trying to do something that's been long dead. So, like, you can't hold it to what it was, and you can't hold it against, the others because we don't know what it is yet.
I think that's the thing about stuff like Horizon and Elder Scrolls 6 and even Halo. Well, Halo's more of a black swan here because we really still don't 100% know. But, like,
it's not open world. They said that this week. They're like, it's not open world.
Just calm down, people. We know what to expect from Horizon and Elder Scrolls 6, at least in, like, a certain sense, and enough sense to say they're a big deal. Yeah. And I think that's why I want to put them on the list over something that I'm just like, it could be amazing, or it could be a nightmare. And it could be important for a different reason, and that's not what you want.
And the use of the word important really puts me on defense because it's not my most, like, if I was doing my most exciting, I got this right out of the way. It's hard for me to call Gears most important.
I agree. It's not.
As great as Gears is, there's people that are just not into Gears. They're not going to get into Gears. It's Gears 6. It's not even, it's like, you're talking about Hellblade being a sequel. Like, we know it's a sequel, but it might be like a whole new thing that it's not like a sequel. We know that Gears 6 is a legit sequel that you need to be invested in before you get there. Like, it'd be really weird to be like, I've never played Gears 4. I'm starting with Gears 6.
Starting with 6.
That'd be strange. So it's really hard to say that it's important.
Hellblade is like that too because it is a sequel. It's the same character.
Yeah,
you're good.
You're making good cases here.
And Horizon is we've done a lot of Horizon games, but they always stand alone. And that is a genre that I think Microsoft can hold up and say, look at how well we do this.
I don't think it's exclusive, but the question was, what if it's Indiana Jones? Does that pop into the third spot?
I don't know what to expect from that video game, so it's the same conversation as Fable.
I'm too nervous. It's going to be a wannabe Uncharted, and that's
that was my
first
thought that too.
If he's running around just shooting people, I'm like, no, this is not
machine.
This is not what we're looking for.
But do you want that out of indie? You know what I mean? And then do you want the inverse?
What I'm saying.
And the inverse is Indiana Jones, aka Uncharted, and that's one that Sony already does better. So that becomes problematic almost in terms of instead of important. Like,
unless you can do it well.
Unless you can do it well. Better. You have to do it better, I think. That's good where point. I think is the problem.
You don't get to say, well, they have Michael Jordan over there, and then you go, well, I've got this guy named Dame Lillard who might be good.
Right.
Dame Lillard. How do you pull a name from 1996 and then a name from now?
He's coach. He does what he wants.
That's what I do. But you know what I mean? Like, that's the tier that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider tried it. They tried to go up against the boys, and they made great games, but they did not squash Uncharted.
Yeah, they weren't Uncharted.
And I love the Tomb Raider, and they were building on an already beloved franchise, and they couldn't.
Hey, we have Tomb Raider tomorrow. completely forgot about that. We'll see that
yeah,
tomorrow
that's
too.
true. That's in the Square thing too. But they tried to come at Uncharted and they could not dethrone them. So I think that putting that one on that pedestal is dangerous, right? I think that's almost an experiment.
I mean, I think we all know the real answer here. Ori 3. When they
you're right.
license an Ori 3, then we're all set. It's a really good question. That's why I wanted to get it in
great
here.
Question.
And I thought it'd be great to have Mo, he brings a different perspective.
Yeah.
So it's real good. But we all definitely know. It's Halo and Elder Scrolls. Those are big deals.
I think the biggest of big deals right now is that Halo game has to be good in November, dude. I bet you there's a lot of butts clench at Microsoft right now over that video game. There's no way there isn't.
They
It's spicy.
Am I wrong in not like I'm kind of like in this zen place with Halo, and it's maybe because I'm just not super invested in the franchise, but in my head, I'm really settled with the idea like it can't be bad. Like they delayed the whole thing for a whole year. Like you don't do that and then also release a bad game. Like that's awful. That would be atrocious.
There is a difference between releasing a objectively bad game and releasing the game that people don't want. You can release a good game that is the Halo game that people do not want, and that's still problematic because this has to hit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
but I still think it can be good and successful and be that at the same time.
It absolutely can be all those things, but that's a perfect storm now. Yep. And they gotta nail that.
I'm not expecting it to be like bad.
No, I don't think this is going to be a broken video game, an unplayable nightmare.
Right, like this isn't going to be like Destiny's Day 1 or Anthem's Day 1 or Cyberpunk. Like it's definitely not that.
That's not what Microsoft is worried about.
That's improbable. Like that's impossible at this point in the stage of development, right?
This is like Nintendo releasing a not great Mario game. It's risky. It's a dice roll, and they got to be careful. It's not about it being broken. It's about it being not the game look that they want to release. You know what I mean?
I feel like read Coach's mind.
Gravy. This podcast is getting out of hand.
We've podcasted for a long time together.
I'm glad I kept my mouth shut, though.
Oh, God. I swear I have like 10 more gray hairs.
They did that. They did it on GameCube.
I know. I remember the video game. Shush. I remember it. I said it and I remembered it. And you remember what the fallout was from that?
Yeah, no, I do. Still.
So my point stands, right? But they've delayed this a full year now. So now the stakes are higher.
Like the delay, and I know you say that, and I agree with you. Like when you delay it, you almost put more pressure on it to deliver.
You do.
But the delay made me like all but assured. I was like, okay, whatever they didn't like about it will definitely be fixed by then. A year? That's a big delay. They didn't delay it 3 months. They delayed a year.
Right. So, but what does that say? These were not problems we could fix easily. That is what that says. Right?
Yeah.
That's what that says. And that could be a problem. And they might have to go back to the table and make some decisions that might be risky. Who knows?
Going into last fall, especially with the console, especially with COVID and everything, I think I even said it. I was expecting like a rocky start. You remember I was talking about everybody's talking about the facial things, and I was like, you can patch that later. We can get it and play it now. We can wait later.
But they didn't do that. Why?
Right. Now that they've delayed it, I'm expecting super polished.
So think about that. Now your expectations are higher. And that makes this way more like this. The pressure's on, man. This has got to be good.
Man, I cannot imagine. Like, if Halo really launches and people are like, dude, it's busted.
I don't think it'll be broken.
So
I
bad.
just want to be very clear. I think it'll perform well. The question is it the game that the community of people who love Halo really want? And that's where I think the risk level is.
Yeah, and that's tough. It's going to be hard to.
I agree.
There's just too many wants there.
They leaned on this one.
The Halo game that I want is kind of different than the Halo game that you want. It's different than the Halo game that Lobo loves. And Kevin, like, we're all kind of different in that regard.
Yeah. They're going to have to find the ones that sell the console and don't scream the loudest. That's really what
Battle Royale.
They're not doing that.
I just want to play multiplayer.
I just want to play the campaign. I don't care about
That's
the multiplayer.
all I want.
See, we're two different
super
people.
fun campaign game. That's what
I want a good campaign.
That was my issue with Halo 5. I was like, this is not great. It's not fun.
I'm super terrible at Halo multiplayer.
Although I will say that TV show wasn't as bad as people made it out to be.
Yeah.
I actually watched that and I was like, this is some fun little.
It's like Ray in the chat. CD Projekt. Like it can't be Cyberpunk, right?
No,
like,
this is
it. We all fundamentally know that it will be better than that.
I don't, like I said, and I'll say it one more time. I do not think this thing comes in so hot and broken that they're hot patching it every week. I think it comes in stable, but the question is it the game that you hang a console on? Because they have not released a Halo in a minute, and the last two were not their best work. So
Good point.
I think we're done prophesizing now.
Fun question.
Crystal ball. That was great. That was a good discussion. I'm going to get a crystal ball for this show. Just leave it right.
Oh, that's a good segment. We could do that.
The
we could have like a
crystal
video.
ball?
We could have a bumper and everything.
Oh, let's talk about this, Donnie.
We get animation of Mo's face in the ball.
In the ball. You're the genie.
Yeah.
Dude. All right, we got to have some. Mo, I'm going to need some captures 360 of your face.
I'll do my best. That's a big
B-Mox.
We're
We're going to have to commission some artwork soon.
We have to talk. The crystal ball will be a cool feature because we end up doing it every week anyway. So this just gives us an excuse for a dumb graphic. All right, kids, before we get out of here, let me give a shout out to our Patreon producers because, like all the rest of you who are listening to this, they help make this happen every week. So shout outs to Michael Masick, Barry Cathcart, Edwin Callow, Stephen Keller, Nick Creature, Rude Days 93, Ben Moxham, Robbie Manuel, Nick Fallhaber, Paul Calicote, Kyle Heyman, Chris M., Devin Tyus, Josh Forbone, RJ Kern, and Grouchy Surge. Thanks, y'all. You're our heroes. For real, though.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Keep it going.
Yeah, man.
I was planning on trying to put out like a big Patreon update and stuff, but we're still kind of retooling some things. So if I may, I just want to say thank you to those that help support us. You've made this little production studio that we've been using on all of our shows. You've made it possible, or Patreon's directly funding this. We are changing up some of our patron stuff. Kevin is doing some DLC stuff, and we have at least one new surprise coming to patrons. You're going to get early access on something that I'm doing that I'm very excited about, that I look forward to letting you know in the future. I don't know when. It'll be a minute, so don't expect it next week, but it'll be soon. And just know that we really, really appreciate you and all the support you give us over there.
For real, though. And if you want to support the show, you can find us, there's a bajillion links everywhere to find the Patreon website. And just come hang out in the Discord, or you can tweet at us. I'm ET Dragon, and Donnie is Eat the Hype, which is still so good.
Thank you.
It's just so good. I like tweets, and I try to at least read and respond to as many of them as I can. So if you just want to figure out what our dumb opinions are on a sandwich, I'll talk about sandwiches on Twitter all day. So get at us. Mo, thank you for gracing us with your lovely baritone voice.
I love hanging out with y'all. You're wonderful people. I'm just glad spring break let me do this because I don't have to get up at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. I just wake up at because I like to get my lift in the morning. I like to start my day lifting heavy things.
I'll be up. Tornadoes are coming.
So I wake up at 8, go to Turner Fitness, handle my business, work on cars the rest of the day. It's pretty chill week. It's pretty chill week for me.
And I appreciate you carving out time in your chill week because it's it's past your bedtime probably.
I hit Donnie up a couple weeks ago. I was like, hey, if you've got room, I love y'all. And I love hanging out and talking.
Yes.
We didn't even get to talk about the MLB The Show.
Yeah, that was the whole reason why I was like, you've got to come. Dude, all right, Mo, real quick. I bought last year's The Show because I haven't played the show in many, many years. And I was like, am I going to get it? It's great, right?
It's good.
I was like, this is so damn good. I'm definitely going to get it on Xbox.
Yeah,
I was having a blast. It's really pretty. It's really pretty.
I've been dominating the technical test the last couple weeks. And guys, I'm so ready for this game to be on Xbox. Like
that retro mode?
Yeah,
not good.
Just having my controller back.
Oh.
Because I'm going to tell you now.
Now.
Ray, we are doing a league. That is official. My Cubbies will spend all of our money trading for pitchers and then never score runs. Can't wait. That's what I do whenever we make a league. I just get the best pitchers and then we win games 1-0 or we lose games 1-0.
This is really what the Yankees are trying to do right now. So we'll see how this goes for us this season. We'll see. We bought a lot of pitchers. Let's see how this goes for my husband's stress level.
Playing it on with the Elite controller. Oh my goodness, that game's so good with that controller. I'm so excited for people on Xbox to get to really dive into it.
I wasn't planning on getting it day one, and I still don't think it's a little more than I would spend for something I'm just going to play exhibition games on.
Yeah. But
when I get a sale or I get rewards credit or something, I'm definitely getting me a copy of this game.
Yeah, I'm going to grab it on Xbox this year. We've been buying it on PlayStation for a few years now because it's one of those games that my husband likes too, but he burns out on it pretty quick and then it becomes mine. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it on the Xbox. And he's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, it's weird. It's in a green box with the shiny PlayStation logo. What's happening? I can't wait to mess with his whole brain.
That opening day new baseball hype smell. It might get me. I might get it earlier than I expect.
It's already pre-installed on my console.
Because I also don't really have a whole lot to play before Resident Evil, so I might just find a reason to get this anyway.
April is pretty quiet, so April's it's mid-April, the 20th, I think. I love baseball. It's one of the few sports that
Yeah.
I will routinely sit and watch or just listen to while I work, like in the background. I love
I like it when my team's good, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I'm a Yankees fan, so sometimes we're okay. I don't know.
The Indians are trying to do Major League 3 up there or something. I don't know what we're doing this year.
I don't think anybody knows what they're doing this year. It's a hot mess after last
We
year.
just
It's like,
sold everybody.
so. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that on my Xbox. It'll be weird. I can't wait. Again, Mo, thank you. Your insights are always appreciated. Love having you, man.
Appreciate it, fam.
I think we're done here, Donnie.
We're out.
Yeah, I keep saying this. Let's see if there's less news next week.
Every time you say it, we get more news.
Then I hope there's so much less news.
Every time you've said it, like Game Pass has doubled the following week.
Guys, I want no news. I want negative news. Take things away. Give me all the news. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. Until next week, play some video games.
Good night.